We need help with one of the mics.
There's three more.
Testing. That one works. Mine's okay.
Right up, Jeff.
Yeah.
I just want that out.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Recording's on. Call to order meeting the Jefferson County Commission. It is 6:01 PM. The date is April 16th, 2026. It is our tradition in Jefferson County that we always start with God and country. And I'm very pleased to welcome our dear friend, Pastor Snow from Mission Tabernacle Holiness Church. Pastor Snow, if you could start us off with an opening prayer, and we have a microphone here at the podium. Thank you for being with us, Pastor.
Thank you for your service to our county. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all your blessings upon us. I pray that you help us this night as every decision that is made concerning your work in our community. I pray that you bless each and every member and all that make decisions tonight. And I pray that you would bless our county and help us to do everything for your glory. In the name of your Son, amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Snow. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the West Virginia pledge that is located in your packet. I pledge allegiance to the flag of West Virginia, which serves as a constant reminder that mountaineers are always free, which stands as a symbol of her majestic mountains, fertile forests, rich veins of coal, and the pride of her people. Excellent. Let's move through our consent agenda. Approval of minutes, April 2nd, 2026, regular commission meeting minutes. That's on pages 5 through 18. Any objection? Without objection, that is approved. Accounts payable, April 2nd and April 9th. Any objection? You need a minute, Commissioner Keys?
The camera,
Aha,
I don't know if you want
excellent.
to, sorry, there's a little delay.
That's all right. That's a fast moving commission. You got to keep up. Approval of manual checks, April 2nd and April 9th. Any objection? That objection, that is approved. Payroll, April 10th. Without objection, that is approved. Requisitions, April 16th. Without objection, that is approved. Draft minutes are included in the meeting packet. Draft meeting minutes are often also available separately online. You can see both of them at our county website. Jefferson County Commission spending syncs with West Virginia checkbook daily. So all the spending that we just mentioned, that we approve through unanimous consent, that's actually available on a daily basis at wvcheckbook.gov. A complete list of publicly available information and tutorials on using the site are available online. County Administrator, do we have changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
I have heard from Delegate Ridenhour. He is unavailable to attend this evening as he has other business in the county that he will be attending. So 2.4, I'm just going to briefly mention that Delegate Ridenhour is supporting Jefferson Little League, but I'm not going to spill the beans. We'll let him do that when the time is right. Other than that, I don't have any changes to the agenda, although we might move things around or the youth sports section to make sure we have time to honor all of the kids who can come tonight, the young athletes, I should say. We'll move to public comment. We have two people signed up to speak. Mr. David Tabb, you have 3 minutes. After that, we have Ms. Amanda Stroud. Both of them are regular speakers who know the rules, but I'll explain to everybody. It's a 3-minute time limit. With 10 seconds to go, I'll make this sound, which is a friendly reminder that time is about to expire, and then I'll make this sound at 3 minutes, and we'll move on to the next speaker. Starting with Mr. Tabb. Sir, the floor is yours.
David Tabb, lifelong resident taxpayer. Comment on the following agenda items: bond waiver, historic courthouse and properties, and announcement. Number 4, bond waiver request. This bond waiver request could be used to eliminate or reduce other bond waivers. all you need to say is that this project benefits general population. So if the Berkeley County bond has provided adequate charges, then the 100 or the 1 million, 1.6 million should be reduced to $168,100 or $102 for stormwater protection, or nothing at all for everyone. If the county has this documentation that the aquatic center, it has 76% of the ones that took the survey important, where does the emergency services rank? Was emergency services included in the survey? Additional, with the Jefferson County population growth, then the county commission all but suspended the impact fees, creating hundreds of millions of lost revenues that would have assisted in the county services, including emergency services and utility service. Number 9, update historic courthouse and Washington properties. The agenda pack has failed to include any documentation. Again, this property is not the county commission's property to sell. Hence, that is why it is called the Washington property. Furthermore, this violates West Virginia Code 732 that requires the county commission to maintain properties in consistent and adequate repairs and has caused these properties to be in disrepair. The county commission has misappropriated and transferred maintenance funds and projected updates, retained these funds for 4 years, then used the money for a new project, not the intended use, county complex, violating West Virginia Code. Announcements, Roman numeral 6. The West Virginia checkbook, is it transparent or is it invisible? Where is the posting of the $20 million within the West Virginia checkbook that supposedly bought this facility? Where is the $30 million bond for the Hilltop House that appears that was issued over a year ago and promised to have hundreds of jobs and millions in revenue with no apparent construction? I'm also can't find the JCDA finances nor the American Rescue money. So where is it? Is it invisible or are you hiding it someplace else? Y'all have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Tab. Our next speaker is Ms. Stroud. Floor is yours, madam.
All right, new microphone. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to speak about the agenda in general and then a specific item. First, I don't see a town hall on the agenda. Did we stop having them? I checked the recording of the last town hall and didn't hear a reference to stopping them, so I'm confused. When these pre-meeting town halls were first proposed, I had some thoughts but never had the opportunity to present themselves. It may be too late, but here goes. I like Michael Talbert's idea of holding meetings/town halls outside their normal meeting space. Then there's my idea of holding town halls on the 5th Thursday of the month. This is what it would look like. A town hall somewhere in South Jefferson in January, a town hall in Bakerton in April, and so on for 4 or 5 times a year. And perhaps instead of themes, the town halls could be on whatever the residents want to talk about that evening. And second, agenda item number 8, resolution of support, Shenandoah Valley Battlefields. I'd like to thank Lynn Dillow for forwarding me a copy of the resolution because unfortunately it wasn't included in the public packet. So for most of the day, I didn't know if this was regarding the brouhaha over the potential Shenandoah Rail Trail, congratulating them on recent federal funding, or what. Now that I know it's about extending the Shenandoah Valley Battlefield Historic District to include Jefferson County, I heartily endorse this resolution. Jefferson County is part of the Shenandoah Valley, and as we all know, fighting didn't end in Winchester. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. We'll move on to regular business. New business today. First on the agenda, Assessor Angie Banks. By state law, we are to consider this first exonerations and ticket apportionment. Unless Assessor Banks is here for a presentation, the chair would like to hear a motion to approve as presented in the packet on pages 20 through 23.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Stolper. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Keys. Debate? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving as presented indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously 5-0. Let's have clerk record that vote. Next up, we have a special presentation. We are very eager to hear from our Director of Parks and Rec, Jennifer Myers, on a planned expansion of our Parks and Rec facilities in Jefferson County. I know that this is a hot topic in Jefferson County right now. It's also one of our biggest priorities as a county commission, and we're very grateful for your time, Director and staff. I had the pleasure of joining your board meeting last night, where we are very ably represented on a regular basis by Commissioner Heffestay. Came in for a quick chat and was incredibly impressed. And I look forward to hearing a little bit more about what's in store for Jefferson County. Yeah.
So I brought David Kling and Becky Zaglifa with me tonight as well, because they're a big part of what we do at Parks and Rec, and want to give them the opportunity to expand on any questions that you guys might have.
Thank you. And may I ask our commission clerk to put these drawings up on the easel that's outside? We don't need that easel that's outside anymore. We can use it here and perhaps move it a little bit closer to the audience so they can see it up close and personal. Thank you.
Sorry, we forgot the easels.
No problem. I brought one for you. Teamwork.
Appreciate it.
We only have one. So we probably only one moved.
I wonder, do you want it behind you so it's on camera while you're speaking?
Sure.
So we're doing this ad hoc, but I think that might be the best way to present it. That way everybody can see it on TV.
Yeah. And if the commission would like, we're, happy to leave those two for a couple of days. And if people want to kind of look
Excellent.
through them when they're in and out of the building, then we can come back and grab
Excellent.
them.
Yeah. Terrific.
As you can see, we have a lot of plans.
Terrific.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One second. Okay.
So
I was going to say,
I was gonna say-
I'll make a shameless pitch while we're
That's
waiting
nice
for the
to do.
presentation to come up, but we brought some flyers, and if you guys will give Becky a minute, she can share some information about the concerts and things coming up. And
Yeah, I just
Happy
wanted
to
to take a moment to invite everybody in the room to the Levitt Amp Shenandoah Junction Music Series. It's a free concert series. It is granted from the Levitt Foundation. Their goal is to bring people together through the power of free live music. They granted our community over the next 3 years $120,000, and we have some very generous sponsors from the community who have kindly met that, what is it called? The obligation, yes. So it's a matching grant. So they've met the matching grant with us, and so we're able to present free music to the community. Those concerts start on May 1st, and they will happen every Friday evening at the AMP through June 26th. And the gates open at 7 o'clock, music starts at 8 o'clock, or gates open at 6 o'clock, music starts at 7 o'clock. We have lots of fun out there. It's a different kind of music every evening, so it's going to be something new. And it's really exciting to see people come back. It's exciting to see people meet new friends out in the grass and bring a football, throw it around and enjoy the evening. So starts May 1st.
Wonderful. And let's explain to folks who have never been there before. Where is it?
So it is at Sam Michaels Park.
Okay.
If you're not familiar, which some people surprisingly still aren't, and you are missing the gem of Jefferson County, I would like to think anyway, because I'm there every day. So if you haven't been there, you're going to go Flowing Springs Road, turn right just before you hit Jefferson High School, and you'll find the park out there. We have a beautiful amphitheater, a big giant field. It's a process that's been happening for the last 5 years. Every year we get bigger and better. And so we really want to invite people out to enjoy the time out there.
And you
I will
saved up for
also
it.
add real quick, the
Yes.
very last concert is our fireworks concert. So we are going out with a bang. So it's free for everybody to come out, not just for the biggest and best fireworks show we've ever had in celebration of the 250th birthday of the United States, but also because it's our 20th year of fireworks. So we will be doing it bigger and better than we've ever done it before. And we do a spectacular show.
Oh,
So-
that is phenomenal.
And I'd like to add that you
Yes.
added concessions last year. So you sell food there, beer, wine. I think you got your license, right?
Mhm.
So it's a really fun event for kids and families. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
bathrooms.
not that we want to say this in a meeting, but flush potties.
yes.
That's a big deal out there. No porta johns. So come out and enjoy the time with your family.
Wonderful. And you all saved up for that over years. You expanded the facility. For those who don't know, the AMP was built when?
2018.
Okay. Finally put that together. It took a long time planning. That's kind of the theme of the evening, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Sorry for the delay.
No, that's all right. We'll get to it in just a
Presentation.
second.
But we brought some flyers, that if it's okay, we can put them maybe out front with the books.
Please do,
And
please
Commissioner
do.
Hepestay, I believe, is passing around magnets, that we gave him last night at the meeting, to share with the community as well. So,
I have some out on the front table, but I'm working the others.
Wonderful. Stick them up on your fridge and you'll know which concert is happening each week. So
Thank you. And they're earlier this year, right?
they will start at 7:00.
Earlier
Yes.
the calendar year,
The
right? They're-
calendar year is also early. They'll begin May 1st.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a specific recurring day of the week?
Fridays.
Friday nights.
Yep. Gates open at 6, music starts at 7.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a good time. Okay.
Director Myers, as we're waiting for this technical difficulties to be resolved, can you explain what is an impact fee and how that helps you put together funds?
sure. So the county voted, and I'm not sure, it's been a long time ago, to start collecting impact fees. So any new house that's built in Jefferson County, pays an impact fee to be able to, to build here. And the impact fees go toward helping to expand levels of service that are offered in the, not only in the parks, but in other areas of the county as well. So the Parks and Rec impact fee has been one that's been collected, year over year. And we have gotten to the point, which we'll kind of go through a little bit tonight, where those impact fees have accumulated enough that we're starting to be able to do some of these big projects and things that we've been talking about for, the past 10 and 15 years. So there's, the impact fees have had a tremendous, impact on what we've been able to do. And what we do is we do our best to match those impact fees. So when we put in a request to the County Commission for the CIP, which you guys just approved here a couple of weeks ago, we're usually able to bring something else to the table with that. So if we're, asking for, let's say $50,000 to, build a playground, maybe, we're hoping to be able to bring, a grant opportunity to match that $50,000 to be able to do, more programs and expand, more recreational facilities with that. So it's been a huge help for us to be able to develop. And I didn't bring our huge list of projects that we have for the parks, but every year we have a list that we add to and then start going through and then preparing the capital improvement plan that we turn into the commission in December for consideration.
And I'll let the commission know that the slideshow is showing up on Zoom, but it's not showing up on our screen.
Aha.
So if you would like to go through the slideshow, that is what is on the screen currently.
So that's challenging. Can you do that?
We will do our best. I did
Okay.
print one copy, so we can kind of share that a little bit.
Ah, there you go.
Vanna White it.
Do I just click through it? Or what? Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, just a little. We'll make it through, I promise.
Okay.
Okay, so good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present tonight. I do want to start out by saying this information is informational. We are not asking for any money tonight, so I want to make that clear to everyone. But we just want to provide an overview of Jefferson County Parks and Recreation, how our facilities are currently being used, and how we are planning for future needs through our capital improvement plan. And, we just want to keep the commission as well as the community informed on some of the big ideas and how we plan to grow and evolve over the next, 5 to 10 years. So Jefferson County Parks and Recreation currently maintains more than 500 acres of parkland across 7 major parks, along with several undeveloped properties reserved for future growth. Our maintenance operations include 2 full-time staff and seasonal employees who contribute to more than 5,000 hours of maintenance during the summer months. These parks support athletics, recreation, community events, and natural spaces serving residents throughout the county. Across the park system, we provide a wide range of recreational amenities, including athletic fields, playgrounds, walking trails, disc golf courses, pavilions, and gathering spaces. These facilities support activities for youth, families, and residents of all ages. It is going through all of them at one time.
It's slide showing.
Yeah. We're just going to roll with it. Apologize.
No. However you think is best, we'll roll with it too.
So over the past 5 years, Jefferson County Parks and Recreation has successfully secured more than $5 million in grant funding. The funding has allowed us to increase facilities, expand programming, and bring more events to the community. With more than 700 programs annually serving youth, adults, and seniors. Additionally, more than 50% of the operating budget is generated through programming and rentals, which is well above the national average of about 25%. Our facilities are heavily used throughout the year. In 2025, the community center at San Michael's Park alone was utilized for nearly 5,000 hours, which is averaging about 13 hours per day. Athletic fields were nearly 3 hours as well, averaging about 13 hours per available day. I will point out that athletic fields are seasonal, so you're getting that much usage in a very short amount of time when ball fields are opened in, March, April, and then usually start to close those facilities down about by mid-November. So it's a much shortened season for those. In 2025, we offered 718 programs with nearly 7,000 total registrations. These programs serve residents of all ages and support both recreational and community-based activities throughout the year. And then that one a little rogue, so I'll stick to these. So to go back toward the capital improvement plan and talk a little bit about the impact fee funding. So our CIP plans for growth and and maintaining the existing infrastructure that we have, as well as building and acquisition of new facilities and the needs of the community as the needs of the community grow and change. You know, this is important for us to do because we have a growing population. There's growing usage of the parks. We have an aging infrastructure that requires reinvestment. We have increased demand for recreation spaces, and the strategic planning of these goals allows us to help provide those long-term costs. Because we are not going to be able to do all these projects at once. And you'll see we have a long list of things we would love to do in the parks, but it's something that we have to plan out over years. It's nothing where we can, write one check for, $50 million and make it all happen at one time. So I'll touch on a little bit about each park and kind of what's there now and some of the major improvements that we hope to make, over the next 5 years in these parks. And the maps that you see as well, you're gonna notice that there's a lot more things on those maps, and we hope to build those out, over the next 10 or 15 years. But again, it's going to be a process to work toward to be able to provide everything that we want to be able to provide for our county. So San Michael's Park, which is, become kind of the central hub of the county for activities. We have currently 3 ball fields, 2 playgrounds. We have 1 multi-purpose field. We have the 2,800 person amphitheater that Becky spoke of earlier. Of course, the Jefferson County Community Center is there, which provides indoor gym and classroom space. We have walking trails, a disc golf course, and a dog park, as well as a lot of other amenities for people to come out and utilize green space. Some of the key CIP projects planned for San Michael's Park are the community center expansion. We'd love to get an artificial turf field, phase 3 of the amphitheater, an event center, a splash pad and ice skating rink, and trail expansion.
Can you tell us more about the community center expansion?
I can, it's my next slide.
Aha, excellent.
So we've, for probably easily 10 years, we have talked about the expansion of the community center. And it's a project that we have finally reached the point, and I can say that we have contracted with an engineering firm and an architectural firm to help us move forward with designing and putting together a feasibility study to be able to expand that space at San Michael's Park. We hope to add additional classroom and office space, as well as 2 additional gymnasiums and 1 indoor turf field. We've also thrown out a lot of ideas because that's what Parks and Rec does. We're definitely idea people with getting the weeds a little bit with some of the stuff that we do. And we would love to look at possibly adding some indoor play spaces as well, whether that's an indoor playground, or, other activities that would be available for kids and for the youth in the community to be able to have something to do. So we are working with the architects to figure that out. Our goal is to be able to have a tentative design, hopefully early summer, and we have the 20th anniversary of the community center coming up in September, and we would love to have kind of a plan and would love to unveil that to the community with, what we hope to build there. Hopefully sooner than later, but again, we're waiting on impact fees to catch up a little bit. So it would definitely have to be a phased project that we're looking to start there. But we would love to be able to break ground on that project, within the next year.
That's excellent. And I know we have a lot of basketball players in the audience today. Can you tell us about basketball courts, indoor courts? What are the plans?
Sure. Right now we have 1 full-size basketball court at San Michael's Park, and we have 2 short courts. And David may want to jump in here at some point. He's got a lot more information on the programming that we do. But with adding 2 additional gyms, we could potentially run 6 small courts at a time or 3 large courts, which would open up the ability to start running tournaments. And not only running tournaments, but having, groups being able to come in and run and expand, leagues that are in the county. I know that Parks and Rec runs a basketball league that we do kind of an off season. We run it, early fall. So it ends just about the time that the Harpers Ferry Athletic Association basketball season starts. And I think there's a few other leagues in the county as well. So I think trying to be able to grow grow the opportunities for children to be able to play, and kind of shift from, they go from Parks and Rec to maybe the Athletic Association, and other leagues that they have, and they can, practice and get more out of, the sport that they love.
Yeah, that's really compelling. And do you envision this being a space where people can come and practice, not just host tournaments?
Yes, yeah, we would hope to be able to, again, with the additional gymnasium space, we can offer, because right now we're pretty limited to how much space we can really rent. Because we have programming that is monopolizing, the majority of those times from, 4 p.m. till, 9, 10 o'clock at night. We have programs that are running in that gymnasium. So being able to offer 2 additional gymnasiums lets us not only run some of the programs that we're running, but hopefully allow space where, groups can come in and rent those spaces or partner with us to be able to do additional programming or space for practices or whatever they may need to do. You have a lot of sports that are vying for the same time. So even though, if soccer is an outdoor sport, they're looking for space indoors to practice, during the winter months. And right now we just don't have that opportunity with the current, configuration of the community center.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know there's been a lot of discussion around the county about the idea of bringing a sports complex to Jefferson County. And one of the ideas was we need better facilities for our kids and we need a place where people can host tournaments. It sounds to me like you're saying you might be able to expand our current facility so you could host tournaments in Jefferson County. Is that right?
That is our hope and our goal.
Okay.
I think having 3 gymnasiums is a great start to that. Obviously it's for any parents that are traveling with those kids. And I'm one of those parents, I'm traveling on the weekends with my daughter when she plays volleyball, and sometimes you're going to these big, large convention centers that have, 20 volleyball courts set up or, basketball courts set up. So I think that that's something that we would obviously have to grow into, but being able to, have these tournaments and have 3 courts to be able to do them, and then have the turf space. Anyone else that travels with these, a lot of times knows you're dragging your chair from court to court to watch your child play, depending on what, if they'll start on court A and then maybe they have a game on court C and you're kind of camping out for the day. So being able to have the auxiliary space, of hopefully our goal would be, again, like the artificial turf field, then you've got those camping areas that you're building into your facility. So, when the families are coming there, they're there for the day, and they're, looking to hopefully purchase things from the concession stand, and they're hanging out and they're cheering on their child, and, if they're making a great day of it, hanging with their friends. So that is something that when we met with the architect, we made a point to tell them is, as much as all this great space is, we have to make sure that we're planning in advance for potentially large events there. And you're going to need this extra space to be available as well.
Well, I visited Bridgeport, and I know a few commissioners have. And what they told me is when they built the facility down there, it was immediately fully booked all the time. And we're going to have the sports leagues come up and talk about demand in just a second. But my sense is, if we're able to pull this off, it's going to be used 100% of the time as much as possible.
Yes, and we just had actually, David and Becky both were just in Bridgeport and Clarksburg about 2 weeks ago. And they took a look at the facilities there as well. And I think had a conversation with one of the directors there, and they have an indoor turf field that's basically just a covered building with indoor turf, and it is full from 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. There's no time on that field that's not being utilized. So I do think that there is a need for that, in the community, and I do believe it would be utilized.
I think it's a big win for our kids. And let me ask this: you mentioned volleyball, so the expansion to the indoor courts, would that be just for the sport of basketball, or are there other sports that can be played in that facility?
Now, we would be able to do basketball. We would be able to do volleyball. You could actually do floor hockey. Yes, and the one thing that's come up a lot is gymnastics competitions.
Okay.
And that's something that you could do with the extra space. You can do. We run an indoor futsal league now. That indoor futsal league could be expanded as well. For more, multiple age groups, a pickleball, which, it's something most people know is a huge growing sport right now. So,
we have one commission expert who can testify on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's endless on what you could do. We've been talking a lot about indoor tennis. Oh,
Aha,
indoor
visuals. Here we go.
indoor tennis lessons. In tennis, you could do tennis tournaments potentially in the winter months. So I think there's a lot of opportunities once you have the space. Like I said, right now it's just figuring out how to fund that space. And obviously, impact fees will play a portion of that, but it's not going to be able to cover all of the cost. Looking for grant funding and other opportunities is where we will be as soon as we get those numbers on exactly what it's going to cost us to make this happen. We're going to immediately start looking for grant opportunities and figuring out, how to build it for the community.
Well, we have a grant coordinator on staff now, and
Yes.
happy to.
Kayla is wonderful. She's helped
Yes.
us with a few things, so we'll definitely use her expertise.
Excellent. Thank you.
So the next park is South Jefferson Park. So currently South Jefferson Park has 9 baseball, softball, and t-ball fields. There's a multi-purpose field there, as well as 2 tennis and pickleball courts and a playground. That park, one of the main goals that we'll have for that park, and I believe it's scheduled for next year in the CIP, is a development of a master plan. So the master plans that you see in front of us, South Jefferson Park, which is, I believe, the 4th biggest park we have in the county, does not have a master plan. So we want to, develop a plan for that park, much like we've done for San Michael's Park and James Hyde Park and Moulton. So that will be, a goal to reach out to residents, of the county and of course, residents that live near the park, in Summit Point, to see what they would like to see in that park, in that space. So with having, again, there's 9 baseball and softball fields there now. So, there's still probably 50 acres that can be developed for other activities as well. So that is on the CIP plan.
50 acres that we own. Is that right?
Yes, it's about an 85-acre park.
Okay. So we have 50 acres to play with there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then actually next fiscal year, so in 2026, we will be adding athletic court surfacing to the tennis and pickleball courts at South Jefferson Park, which will be a major improvement. If anyone's played there, it's right now just asphalt, which is not ideal when you're trying to play tennis or pickleball. So we'll be adding athletic court surfacing to that park, which again will not only give residents the opportunity to come play on their own, but we're hoping starts that idea to be able to run potentially programming, at South Jefferson Park, which right now we're not able to do. The next up is James Hyde Park. This is a multi-use recreational park in the county. Currently, there's up to 15 soccer fields available within the park. We have 1 multi-purpose field. We have a playground. We have several pavilions. There is a heavily used fishing pond. And we talked about this a little bit last night in our at our board meeting at Parks and Rec. But the fishing pond has a lot of usage in the county. There's also a 2-mile walking trail, and there's pickleball courts that are currently under construction. And they will actually be finished by the end of next week, we are told. So we'll be having a ribbon cutting event for those coming up in May.
Pickleball courts will be done next week, you said? How many are we talking about?
Yes, they're sealing them. They were out there yesterday and today sealing them, and they're supposed to have all the paint on them by Monday, and then all the concrete should be poured Tuesday, weather permitting, mind you. So yeah, we'll have 3 pickleball courts there for the community to use, hopefully again within the next week or so.
Excellent.
Some of the key projects at James Hyde Park, and the big one is utilities. We have a lot of great things we want to build at James Hyde Park, but right now there is no water and there is no sewer or power available within the park. So getting utilities to that park is one of our big goals. We would love to do phase 3 development of the park once we get the water and sewer there, which is development of the baseball fields. So we have, we can put 4 baseball, softball fields within the park with a concession stand that sits right in the middle of those, which would be an ideal setup to be able to, again, offer tournaments. It's additional space for leagues in the county to use. and then start to bring in outside organizations and groups for tournament play.
Did you say there's 15 fields currently?
There's 15 soccer fields currently.
Soccer, 15 soccer fields, but we don't have
Depending on-
water, sewer, power.
We do not. We have
Okay,
porta pots,
okay.
which is not ideal.
I think that's a major factor why that's underutilized.
I would agree. And
Okay.
I will say that we are looking, we're working with Region 9, and they've been helping us to try to look at grant opportunities, for utilities and infrastructure.
Mhm.
We haven't found anything yet that fits that bill, but we did get some recent pricing to try to get water and sewer there. And it's going to be an expensive endeavor to make happen, but we are again committed to trying to find that funding, hopefully, through a grant someplace that's willing to come in and help make that happen.
Okay.
Just a side note to the 15 soccer fields, it's not 15 full-size soccer fields.
Okay.
They're varying in sizes
Okay,
from youth, U8 to up to 15. So.
Right.
Yeah, and they get adjusted, every season on how those are laid out to help protect the turf there. So you can kind of, come in and maneuver those several different ways for usage.
well, I can tell you, the County Commission and the Jefferson County Development Authority recently took an action to prioritize seeking grants for utilities, which is something we have not traditionally done. So my message to you all is this is a priority for the County Commission. If there's a way that we can be helpful to try and get utilities to James Hyde Park, so these 15 fields of varying sizes can be utilized by our community, let's talk more about it and see what opportunities there are.
Okay.
We didn't even know that there was a state program with a $4 million grant out there until we hired staff who are experts at this, who found it out and said, hey, here are some opportunities you haven't looked at before. So maybe there's possibilities we haven't considered before that we can look for now.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Some of the other key CIP projects that'll be completed this year is we'll be putting in a dog park at James Hyde Park. We'll be making ADA improvements for pond accessibility. We are doing a feasibility study to build a skate park at James Hyde Park. And then hopefully we'll be able to build that skate park, in the future as well. And then we are looking at putting an additional playground in the park as well. And, I think it's important that when you're building out these facilities, especially, families that have multi kids, and they might have one or two kids playing soccer, they still have little ones that might need something else to do. So having playgrounds centrally located within the parks near, near fields and near these athletic complexes, is important to look at as well. So we are trying to do that as we build these things out, is making sure that we're adding some of the smaller amenities to be able to, offer more for the community. Next major park open is Moulton Park. And this, of course, is, the riverfront recreation portion of the county. Currently, there's 10
Director,
permanent.
can you explain, even though it's obvious to us who talk about this all the time, where's the riverfront Moulton Park? Can you explain it?
Moulton Park is right along the Shenandoah River. So it's right off of Bloomery Road and like 115. So it's a great park. We just expanded that park about 3 years ago. So it used to be just river frontage. And we were able to acquire an additional 86 acres of that property, which is currently being developed. We've got, of course, the master plan for that right here in front of us. So we are really excited about the potential for this park. It's, like I said, right now there's 10 primitive campsites there. We do have fishing and boating access. We have a partnership with DNR that manages the boat ramp for that facility. We've just finished, a trail system. We are almost finished with the new disc golf course that'll be opening down there probably around June. And there's a beautiful pavilion in a house that's on the property as well that we have plans to open for future events. So we foresee where there's the potential to offer, special events there. So, weddings, whether it's family reunions, birthday parties. We have some really cool program ideas for that house once we're able to do some improvements to that to make it usable to the public. And, the big thing that we've heard about Moulton Park over and over again, and I know the commission has heard this as well, It sits on the Bloomery Road, which is a very, very busy road during the summer months. So one of our big projects that we want to do is we want to add parking at Moulton Park, which we hope will help with some of the overflow parking issues and traffic issues that, that I guess the state and the county are seeing on Bloomery Road during the summer months. We have gotten numbers back, and that's a little more expensive than we thought it was going to be to get that done. So we are looking for, again, grants to help make that happen. So it may start out as a small parking lot, and we may have to kind of build that in phases over the next year or two. But we also want to get kayak launches in, additional tent platforms, and floating docks, which would add accessibility for county residents to be able to get, to the river and be able to fish from the docks. And then the newest addition to Jefferson County Parks and Rec, which I will actually be coming back before you guys here probably in a couple of weeks, to officially get your blessing. But we have worked with Jefferson County Schools, and we're developing a 35-acre park that is right beside the new elementary school, and right outside of Shepherdstown. So that concept plan was approved last night at our Parks and Rec board meeting, and we'll be presenting to the Board of Education in the next few weeks, and then again coming back to the county commission to present that to you. But there's also plans there for multi-purpose fields. We'll have playground recreation areas, some pavilions, picnic areas. And we're excited to be able to partner with them to be able to add that additional park. And it does have a name now. So I'm gonna make you wait on the name of the park, but we did officially get the name of that today. Shepherdstown Elementary actually named the park. The kids had a contest and voted. So we're excited to kind of work with them and unveil that when we come back here in a couple of weeks.
The kids named the park.
They did a contest.
Very cool.
And when we got the name today, we're like, okay, I like it. So they did a fantastic job.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we're excited.
And this is right next to an elementary school.
It is.
I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah. And that's one of the goals that was in and I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit, but one of the things that was in our 10-year master plan that we did 10 years ago, is really trying to have, when you're building a school, you look at maybe building a park beside the school. So you're sharing facilities, and hopefully, looking to help everyone save a little bit because you're utilizing space and for this particular park, this is space that the schools were not going to be able to use. So, they couldn't use the space, so we can come in and build a park beside the school, which is providing, additional opportunities, not only for those kids, but again, for families, to come out and do events and things as well, after school hours and on weekends. So we're excited to be able to work with them to do that.
Phenomenal.
Just a couple of the other additional projects that we have planned for this year are Mount Mission Park, which is up near Shannondale, is going to have a fairly large park expansion. There's a good multi-purpose field that'll be going into the park, additional parking, and a larger playground will be installed there sometime this summer. I just mentioned the Shepherdstown Park improvements. We are working on starting to lay out what we will start with there. That park is slated for a large inclusive playground, which what we're looking to do there, is $500,000 plus playground, which, is not something that we have in Jefferson County at this point. So we're excited to bring that.
And before you conclude, I just want to give our commission clerk a heads up. We're going to go out of order and recognize the youth in the room next. So if you have those documents for me now, that'll be great. I'll give you the floor back, Director Myers. All you. Go ahead.
We are looking at installing Wi-Fi and camera systems throughout the parks, additional restroom facilities, where we're able to help with infrastructure and usage of a lot of the leagues that we're using. And as well as, a lot of picnic tables and grills are going to be going in these spaces as well. So we have more utilization for the county. Some of the things that we're looking for in the future, land acquisition. So, if things come up, we're able to do that. We are going to be updating our 10-year Parks Master Plan. So that will be happening later this summer. That will kick off, and we will be updating that to help again, get the community's input on what they want to see the next 10 years in the parks. So, yeah, I know it's a lot of information and I hit it all at one
A
time.
lot of information because you're doing a lot of work.
So,
And
but yeah,
I can
we-
tell you, our community is very interested in this. We're going to have an ongoing conversation. In fact, next on the agenda, we're going to have our sports leagues come up and so we can hear from them. But what I'd like to do, since I know some kids in the audience need to get to practice, I think we can skip around our agenda and go straight to honoring our winter season youth sports teams. And if y'all could stick around for the next round of discussions, I'd really
Sure,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
All right. Do I want to come down? I think, why don't we all come down? Okay. Folks, we are very excited to have with us tonight some young men and women, some boys and girls who have a lot to celebrate. We just concluded a winter sports season in Jefferson County. And I'd like to take a moment to honor a few of our teams who achieved excellence this year and to congratulate them on their hard work. We have with us the 9U, 9 and under Harpers Ferry Athletic Association champions. If we could have the parents and the kids come on up, I want to recognize these following kids who they have all demonstrated excellence by hard work, practice. They learned sportsmanship. They learned teamwork. And let's take a second to recognize Fiona Coyle, Dylan Michaels, Carson Carroll, Carson Craze, Leo Jones, Carter Charlton, Cameron Charlton, Jordan Parker, and Casey Wyman. Congratulations. This has been an excellent season for you all. This is the 9 and under Harpers Ferry Athletic Association champions. And let's recognize coaches Mike Charlton and Terry Harder. Great job, kids. I think I saw you guys playing over at Harpers Ferry Middle. That was a tough match. go ahead and stay on up here. We want to recognize another team, the 11 and under Harpers Ferry Athletic Association champions. This team practiced all season long. They overcame the shortcomings of a defensive coach who was out of his element, but he tried his best. That's Coach Stolliper. We love him for that. And if I recall correctly, they actually won with a shot at the buzzer to win the championship. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and got it done. Congratulations to the champions. Let me call off their names. Brody Vecchio, Nolan Dean, Monty Sowers, Tristan Biggie, Justin Huber, Max Majdi, Aaron Williams, Garrett Stolliper, Andrew Carlson, Shaden Jackson, and Xander Ainsworth. Congratulations to the champs.
There you go. Shade, where's Shade? Shade. Man.
You get a certificate.
All right, Monte.
Now, did y'all get any hardware?
Krista. There you go, buddy.
Oh, really?
Just
I can't see it. You got to show it off.
there we go.
Hold it up, kids.
All right, guys. It's in right here. You want to leave it in right here? Hey, there you go.
So back in my day, we had the big cup, but you guys are doing new school. You got rings. Hold them up, guys.
Did anybody wear the rings tonight? Let's see them.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Harper's Ferry Athletic Association varsity. Let's recognize the champs. Evan Dean, Sebastian Warnick, Roman Perez, Hayden Finch, Bryant Horton, Colton Rayleigh, Cameron Morris, and Trey Stoneberger.
There we go. Hey, I know you, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you. How are you? Oh, you're Trey. Yeah, there you go.
Can we get, is Candace up here? Candace, can you come on up? Candace puts in blood, sweat, and tears every weekend.
I'm working just the weekend, sir. I don't open the gyms, I close the gyms, I make sure that they have their uniforms. I make sure that everything is clean.
Yes, she does.
More than just the weekend.
Yeah, Candace runs the Harpers Ferry Athletic League. We thank you very much. You do a lot of work, more than weekends, weekdays, for free. Thank you, Candace.
And also on the Parks and Rec.
And I don't know who put you on that board.
She does want me.
I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
And this league is an absolute treasure for our community. Thank you so much. I think all the kids up here, did y'all have a good season? Was that fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we take a picture of all the teams, the champs together? Candace, come on. Come on, Candace. Come on.
You can stand right here by me. Thank you.
If you're a champion, you gotta be on camera. I mean, you're a star. Okay, you've got a ring. Hold it up. Hold it up.
Thanks for helping take off.
All right, looking right over here, everybody.
Let's have another round of applause for the champs. Thank you. Thank y'all. All right, see you on the day.
He's gotta get.
Probably will see Jordan.
See him, Matt. Let's go see him.
But wait, there's more. Next, I'd like to recognize two teams. First, we have the Washington High School girls basketball team. Before I call out their names, I'd like to talk about both teams. The Washington High School boys and girls basketball teams, these are the top high school basketball teams in Jefferson County. They demonstrated excellence by advancing into the state tournament. These young men and women put in countless hours practicing plays and developing their skills. They have represented Washington High School and all of Jefferson County so well with their discipline and commitment to excellence. We are so proud of you. Congratulations on a terrific season. Let's recognize the Washington High School girls basketball team. Jay Campbell, Tamia Perry, come on up. Madison Harder, Natalia Holmes, Chyler Shade, Christina Durand, Capri Gustines, Carissa Parrish, Maddie Solanke, Brooke Holisky. Thank you. There's no name harder to pronounce than Pasha Majdi. So, you know what? Let's call it even. Sheridan Itobi. And our coaches, Trent Hilliard, Joseph Holmes, Dwayne Holmes. Congratulations, ladies.
I know you're in here somewhere. What's up? How you doing? You all right?
If you could stay on up with us.
It's okay.
Now I'd like to recognize the Washington High School boys basketball team.
They're not here. They're in trouble.
All right. Avery Brown, Chandler Cox, Alex Danner, Chris Stolman, Chet Gore, Taj Hairston. I said it wrong. Tajay Hairston. You guys pronounce Majdi, then we'll call it even. All right. Javen Hancock, Josiah King, Yahir Marrero, Cameron Shedrick, Landon Schutz, Kason Thomas, Jaquel Watkins, Cohen Weaver. We have two managers to recognize, Sophie Cooper and Briar Rice. And our coaches are Ryan Miller, Zane Kogan, Owen Elliott, Malik Harper, Keon Proctor, and Braxton Roman. And sorry for everybody's name I mispronounced. I'm sure there were many. These young men and women practice hard. They practiced together. They worked on their skills, and they did all of us proud this basketball season. We're proud of you, and congratulations to all of you. Let's take a photo together. Thank you.
I just have one question for all you basketball players. In honor of you guys tonight, I wore my 1977 throwback when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the MVP. Do y'all even know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is? I didn't think so, but I want you to know when I was your age, I had a pair just like this. I threw a lot of hay bales to afford them. So they said no. You don't.
We're not done with photos until the parents say it's okay.
All right. Hey, thank you, guys.
I know.
Yeah, you're number one fan.
You got a big fan. Yeah.
Wonder if any of them would like to join our kickball team.
Exactly. We should recruit for that.
Yeah, it's on rampant.
So we have seen some planned expansions to our parks and rec facilities. I think it would be really helpful since we're talking about youth sports and it's been a big topic around the county for various reasons. If we could have the leaders of the sports leagues, or at least some of our sports leagues, come on up and talk to us and give us your opinions on what are the needs of our community. I've misplaced my phone. What was that?
Just me, great.
No. Candace, come on up. Jen, Kirkland, Epic,
And Brian.
Brian. Thank you. And Candace, we just introduced you, but if you don't mind just repeating your name into that mic and saying HFAA, what is that? So people understand who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Candace Wilson. I'm the president of the Harpers Ferry Athletic Association. It's our local youth basketball and cheer league. We have kids ages 5 to 14 currently. And we had 337 children registered this past season. We start registrations in October. Practices start in November. Games are December through March when we have our championships and they get their pretty little rings. They practice one to 2 days a week and they play both Saturday and Sunday. And we utilize Harpers Ferry Middle School as our home base. The league started in the 1950s. I don't remember the exact year, but I've been in charge for 3 years now.
Excellent. I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves and then call on folks. So I have a lot of questions for you. We are a basketball family. Brian, if you could introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Brian Sutherland. I'm the president of the Jefferson County Little League.
Thank you very much. Jen.
My name is Jennifer Kirkland. I'm the president of Epic Soccer Club.
Thank you. And we all know you because we had this conversation last year. Since then, we made a lot of progress and you saw some of it tonight. Now, not every problem will be solved over the next couple of weeks or even over the next couple of years, but we got a sneak peek at some of our plans. And I think the big question we have for you all is, one, what are the needs of the families and the players in our community. And when you look at these plans, are those needs being met? Are there other things that we should be doing? What could we be doing? And a second part of that question is, it's two ways of looking at it. What are our current needs for our families, for your leagues? But then also a different question is, if we want to host travel tournaments, how can we do that? We talked about it last year. We talked about it a little bit earlier with Parks and Rec about expanding Sam Michaels, but I'd like to hear from y'all what your thoughts are. And Candace, if we can start with you, I'm hearing from parents all over the community that it is extremely difficult to find practice facilities for basketball. And I've heard stories about how parents have to actually wait outside while the kids go inside to the facility to practice.
Correct. So
Can you tell us what is that phenomenon? Because it
yes, so
sounds
we
strange.
use some local elementary schools for practices, which if you've been in any of our elementary schools other than Ranson Elementary, the gyms are not a big size. So when you put adults sitting along the sides, then that becomes a safety issue that the principals are not willing to take on
Okay.
for us to use the facility. So we eliminate parents and siblings in the gyms. Only the kids and coaches are allowed in the gyms for practice.
So if you take your kid to basketball practice, the typical scenario is the parents wait outside with the
Or
car
drop
running.
them off and go do grocery shopping. I
Right.
say it's 2 hours of babysitting.
Good point.
Thank you. And can I ask you, you saw a plan for expanding Sam Michaels Park. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think it would be beneficial for even like for us because then we could rent some space for practices and then it would be a bigger facility for us to be able to practice. But the problem is we're a nonprofit as well as Parks and Rec.
Mhm.
We're a very small nonprofit and we don't have a lot of money. So the rental fees is why we use the school systems.
Well, that seems like an opportunity for the county government to talk to the school board, to talk to our Parks and Rec department and see how we can find some sort of accommodation that serves everybody. I don't know what the answer is right now, but that's why we're asking the question. So if we were to expand that facility and you guys were to use it, we'd have to figure out a way to bridge
Make
that
it
gap.
affordable.
Okay.
It would have to be affordable.
Okay. And right now you're not paying.
We don't pay anything for practice space. We do give donations to every school that we use though.
I see. And could you tell me a little bit more about hosting tournaments and what kind of size you would need to host a tournament? If that's something you want to do, is that a function of your league?
So we do have the playoff tournament,
Right.
which goes over 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
We start on a Sunday or a Thursday night and
Mhm.
they play their first round. And then the second round is the second day. And then we have our championships on the third.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun weekend, I can tell you that. My
And that's your competition to top it all off.
aha. Okay. And do you work with or liaise with or do you know travel basketball leagues that locals play in? And do you have insight
I mean,
from
there's a
them?
lot of kids that play in travel leagues, but we're not a part of that.
Okay. All right. Other questions for Candace? We're going to go to Brian next. Brian, you saw a presentation of expansion of fields. Some of them were outdoor, multi-purpose. Can you tell us about the needs for your league and whether or not those will be satisfied by the proposed changes? And if not, what could be done to address the needs of Jefferson Little League? I've been to opening day. It's a lot of families. What is it, 600?
It's about 630 families participate, or 630 players in our league. Yep.
That's massive.
That's amazing. I saw it as high as the 700s at one point and as low as the 200s. And with it being the only league in the county anymore, it's nice to see it coming back.
Yeah, it's been an interesting history. Obviously, we were 2 leagues at one point with Charlestown, Ranson, and then obviously COVID took put quite a hit on us. And but we've been rebounding pretty strong ever since. And as long as these houses keep going up, I foresee it continuing. So. To answer your question, Commissioner. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of potential here. And I appreciate Dave and Jennifer and all that they've done to partner with our league. I picked up the mantle from my predecessor, Greg Sager, who had built a relationship with them, and we've tried to forge that for sure ongoing. But I also would second what Candace says. I mean, it's affordability, right? We discussed the upcoming rates and the increases coming up. And, that's going to be something that we're going to have, is going to be a bit of a crossroads for us. A lot of hard conversations internally, but I think more options definitely help us. Our practice schedule hits us pretty hard right there at the end of February. It's always coinciding with the basketball. And I appreciate Candace working with us as much as she can to get us that information as possible so we can plan our tryouts around that. Little League pushes us to start early and earlier every year, which means the ground may or may not have been thawed out by now, which creates interesting situations. So turf fields, for sure, earlier in the year could definitely be a huge benefit to us. In February and March, where we have to start hitting the fields, get the players out there and the teams out there starting their practices.
Okay, and hosting tournaments. Can you speak to that and what type of facilities you need and whether you could see something feasible on some of the parks that we've highlighted tonight?
So I think as far as your travel teams and everything, I think that's on par with everything that I've seen. I think those travel teams are going to utilize those facilities pretty well, hosting those tournaments. I think it's something that the county for sure could host and make a decent amount of profit off of. As far as Little League tournaments, I'm with Candace. Our tournaments are a little bit different. We host our own tournaments at our fields and go to other Little Leagues that host tournaments on their fields. But that's not to say that, we couldn't put together something interesting and different, with a little mixer maybe between our Little Leagues or something like that, working with you guys. So, but yeah, I think based upon what I've seen, everything I've seen in Loudoun County, down in, the Lorton area, Northern Virginia, all through there, I think these facilities have a lot of promise for the travel organizations.
So am I hearing correctly that with these proposed expansions, that's something that you could work with Parks and Rec to potentially host tournaments, and this would that meet the needs of your league?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd be very interested in being part of the conversation for sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's excellent. Jen, you are an expert on travel tournaments.
I've just done it for a long time, and I was once a player. So Epic started back in 1994. I was one of the first two teams. So obviously this is near and dear to my heart. I also do not get paid, and I'm a volunteer. But my son has played for 10 years. My daughter now is at 8 or 7 years. So I'm very vested, even though I have a very much full-time job. But, for Epic, the hardest thing, their sentiments exactly are, we try to make it affordable for everyone to play. If you go to a club right down the road like Loudoun, you're going to pay $3,000 where Epic fees are like $450, right? But the problem we're now facing is field fees have become so expensive for us because it's so limited that I honestly feel like sometimes we're getting gouged. So we currently play for turf fields on Jefferson and on Washington. When we brought on Washington, they doubled the price. So then I have to pay Jefferson double the price because they're both in the school system. And it's crazy. I've lived here my entire life, and those are also my tax dollars. And now I'm turning around and paying for it through the team. So we have to pass that cost off to our parents because we don't make anything as a club. We're also not for profit. The first year before I became the president, I was the treasurer, and we made, I think, $456 for the year. And then that quickly turns around when you need a new mower, and then you're turned around. So anything is an improvement. Any more that we can get, I am extremely, extremely thankful for Jefferson County Parks and Rec. Without them, we have no 9v9 field, which is like if you think of a football field, halfway this way is a 9v9. Without their South Jefferson current park, we have nowhere to play those games. And we have 22 teams right now, 350 players, and about 50% of those sit in some of those fields. So I'm very thankful. Now, when you add the turf fields, again, like I just said, the 9v9s, for every turf field is 2 9v9. So while we'll have teams that need the full, you could also break it down and play them the other way. That's the only thing I would, I guess, ask or put in my comments for is maybe have a conversation with the people that utilize them. I mean, I know you go to other places and you see it, but I know like there's some fields that work really well to be both ways. There's some that don't work as well. In addition, soccer is a year-round sport. In order to be competitive with all of the people around us, we literally play. There is really not a break. If you're in high school, there's like a high school little break, but then that's it. You're back into travel once that ends. So travel officially starts the fall season in August. They play through until November, which then starts our winter season. So then we will practice still outside, especially for the older teams. The younger teams, we try to move inside. But right now, people have to go out individually and find wherever they possibly can to practice because there's not enough places. And then that goes through until March, which becomes spring season, which ends mid-June. So that leaves about mid-June through July, and then teams will sometimes still do something. So that's the only time you're not. So on your indoor facility with your turf, I don't know if you've been to the Maryland Sportsplex, but they have basketball courts that they also roll turf out on. So it simulates more of an outdoor game experience because there are no walls. But some kids love the wall experience of indoor courts. So I think it would be great. As far as tournaments, it would be hard in any singular proposal, but you could use a combination perhaps of the fields to make it work.
This is what I'm really interested in, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't understand how that could work. As a layman, I look at it and I see there's possibilities here, but I don't know how it could work. Could you advise?
Yeah, most common in soccer tournaments, depending on the size, it's not uncommon to be at multiple locations. For
Okay.
example, the last one my daughter just played in, two of the games were in the same location, and then the following day they were 2 games in 2 totally different locations. So 3 locations over 2 days. So that's not uncommon. So, adding 2 turf fields in Shepherdstown, adding 1 at San Michael's, you could start really getting there. Because you're bringing enough on. So you could maybe start with something small. But on the indoor, if you can do it with 1, but if you can have 2 indoor facilities, you can run an entire league that's very successful. Hagerstown Fieldhouse just opened. They have 2 indoor courts, and my son played in that league this year, and there was a lot of teams that registered and a lot of success. And in addition to that, they serve concessions. Then you're in Hagerstown, you're eating dinner, or lunch, whatever nearby. So it's a lot of opportunities to funnel money into either back into Parks and Rec if you do they sell beer, if you do concessions. But last time I went there, I forgot my water. So I bought a water. My daughter wanted a tea. It's very easy to have additional revenue as well.
So on the facilities where kids are playing soccer, are we going to have the ability to have concessions and bathrooms and all that stuff? I'm looking to our staff.
Depending on the park. At San Michael's, we already have the infrastructure there to make those things happen. So I would say yes. If you're looking at Heights and expanding and having turf fields there, until we get the water, sewer, and power, you're not going to have it there. You're going to want to get that concession stand built in those restaurants.
Okay, so our director said, since she doesn't have a mic, you should say that at James Height, that's where we would need to bring out water and sewer and power so that we could have concessions, bathrooms, et cetera, to make it a much more inviting experience for spectators.
It is on the plan.
It's on the plan.
To have those facilities.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and can I just add one more thing?
Please.
So the Shawnee Sports Complex, which is in southern West Virginia, which is where they host the West Virginia State Cup tournaments and things like that. I'm assuming maybe you guys already know this, but it crosses all because they have 6 full-sided fields, which you can then make 12 small-sided as well. And then they have baseball fields. They even have a pool. But yes, and then in front of it is a restaurant. But that facility hosts a lot of tournaments.
Mhm.
So size-wise, for one place, you're going to need something, big. Hyde Park, if you turfed it all, you could turf it all, and that would that would probably be it. But other than that, I really do think if you wanted to get towards tournaments, you're definitely, this is trending in the right direction.
Excellent. I'm seeing a problem in Jefferson County across the board. It's not just youth sports, but across the board, we have people who love living here, but when it comes time to go have fun and spend money, they leave and then they come back. And I love living here. It's beautiful, but we want some more things where people are going out and having a good time right here in our community. Last year we met, we talked about the needs for new facilities. It's a year later. I'm also very enthusiastic about these proposals. I think this is excellent, and we're clearly making a lot of progress, and we're going to have some votes later this year to get it done. I think overall, if we can make these facilities such that it's a very welcoming place to have our kids practice, but also for families to come and recreate, and the siblings can do something else at the same time. They don't just have to sit there and wait. As is being proposed for Sam Michaels and some of our other parks. That's an ideal scenario. And if it's large enough that we can host tournaments, that's great too. And I want concessions, I want parking, running water, the basic stuff. It sounds like we're heading in that direction. Do we have other thoughts from my colleagues on the commission here?
I just had one question for Jen. How many people are in your system, your Epic Soccer?
We have 350 players
Okay.
right now.
All right, wow.
Is there a waiting list?
It's travel, so it's highly competitive. You have to try out to make the team, so it's pretty selective. And our tryouts will be again in about a month. We do have a young academy where anyone can join, and that's like from 4 to 7 years old, and then from there it becomes travel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do have a question, I guess, for Jen and Brian. I noticed there's multi-purpose fields. Is that just a myth, or it sounds like you practice soccer all year round? And you start very early in the spring and go till fall. Is that, if I say, okay, let's build some multi-purpose fields, is that even going to work? And so a soccer field and a baseball field.
It would work for us. I mean, you give me an open field, I can run a practice anywhere.
Okay.
I was basically going to say, if you told a soccer coach they could practice in here, they'd figure it out.
I got you. Okay. I just didn't know the timing because your seasons go up. I guess what I'm saying is I guess my question was more, you all pretty much play 12 months out of the year for the most part. And could we share fields to make that work? If we could build a few multi-purpose AstroTurf type of fields?
I'm all about I'm all about collaboration. I mean, for me, youth sports is so important. It keeps kids grounded, out of trouble. It creates discipline. So for me, I believe in all sports. While I'm here representing Epic, I think baseball is great. I think basketball is great. I think lacrosse is great. I think volleyball is great. So for me, the more facilities and the more things for kids to do, so they're not like running around doing things they shouldn't be doing, is the better. So any way to collaborate on multi-purpose fields, I think it's great. They have a great scheduling system, so you can usually see if something's available, and that also is helpful.
Okay.
And Jen, I agree with you. That was foundational for me. I was a soccer, lacrosse, basketball player, and that's where I first got my confidence and work ethic. So I do think it's fundamentally important for kids and having the opportunity within the county, so they don't have, parents can quickly take them to practice instead of having to drive 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Thank you.
Let me ask this. We just identified an opportunity to find efficiencies in how we spend money. And if you're more efficient in how you can spend money, then you can do more things for the kids. So let me ask this. How often do y'all talk to each other about collaborating and using facilities together?
We don't.
We do
Last
not,
time I saw
no.
him, it was at your last meeting.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need a court and boost.
Okay. I would suggest
I
that
can use
But they
it.
can use mine.
Yep, we can use theirs as well.
I would suggest that there needs to be some sort of youth sports task force in Jefferson County where we collaborate with each other. Multiple different government bodies are involved. You have the county commission with the Parks and Rec Department talking to you right now. We also have the Board of Education, school facilities. They're involved. There are other organizations that can contribute, can help. But I see a lack of communication across these institutions. I want to say for the record, I think our Parks and Rec Department is doing an excellent job with that. but across multiple government institutions, multiple civic institutions, I think it would be helpful if we had some sort of task force, not something that reports to the county commission. I'm not suggesting that. But it might be a good idea to just to announce to the community that we, as the representatives of Jefferson County, think that there's something lacking here that can be addressed. I would say that just a very simple statement like the Jefferson County Commission calls on community leaders to work together to support youth sports in Jefferson County, and then we take it from there. Would you all be willing to, Candace, I know you have an open calendar. You're not very busy, right?
No,
But somebody from your league, if we could have somebody participate in these conversations so we can work with each other and get some efficiencies in how we use facilities.
Find someone.
Coach Tommy, right?
No.
Okay. I'm calling Coach Tommy after. All right. I'll go ahead and as we're here, and Director Myers, could you or somebody on your team participate in these discussions as well? Do you think that'll be helpful? I know you're already doing it, but spreading the conversation around to other groups that aren't currently participating, I think would be helpful. I'll go ahead and move that that we pass a resolution that says the Jefferson County Commission calls on community leaders to work together to support youth sports in Jefferson County. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Moon. Do we have debate over this highly controversial sentiment?
No, but I'd like to say I would like to be participate on this as well.
Yeah, I will. I would like to participate. That sounds great. All those in favor of that resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Shocker, that passes unanimously. But we do have the leaders of our local sports leagues here. Do we have any other questions besides
No.
furthering the communication and working together?
No, I think it's a great idea. A lot of times, each individual organization feels very protective of their own. We don't want to lose one to the other, so they really don't talk. So I think this is a great idea to try to work on getting some field use together or gym use together, and all in all will benefit the kids.
And there's a lot of, Covenant Sports. I've been a coach on there for basketball and flag football for my kids. But they have a couple fields and they're very busy with theirs, but maybe there's some, other church facilities that have the space, have the land that might be willing to be partners with this task force as well.
I'm very interested in that. I will say one thing that we haven't talked about. We've talked about the gap in funding for renting space. If it's not a school facility, then how are we going to pay for it, right? So I think one element that this task force should look at is fundraising. And I'm very interested in doing that, looking to the private sector, looking to nonprofits, charitable institutions that are interested in supporting youth sports in Jefferson County. I'd be happy to help with that. I think it's clearly needed. And if we're building out these facilities, we want our kids to use them. Other comments or questions for our Director Myers? Did you want to come up and ask questions or answer, or we're set to go for now?
I think we're good. I mean, I feel like we communicate with a lot of the leagues, and some that aren't here tonight, but I mean, we're definitely open to figuring out how we can all work together and make this happen.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
No,
It's very
I
much needed.
would like to thank all y'all for coming tonight, by the way. You all volunteer your time, and there's a lot of kids, you might not believe this, and families that they really appreciate you. There's a lot of them out there. I know that's hard to believe when you're separating coaches at games sometimes. No, that might happen. Or as a leader of your league, there's always somebody that doesn't like what's going on, or they don't like the condition of the field or whatever. But you all deal with a lot, and you all give back to the community, and I'm very grateful because my kids, they're in every sport you could think of. So basketball, softball, tennis, golf. He's over with Coach Wayne. They love Coach Wayne, and they're into everything, and they love it. It keeps them busy, and there's a lot of kids that I'm telling you, they're and families are very appreciative of what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you as well. And I'd be remiss to also thank the 19 other members of our board that put in all the work as well. I know they deserve a lot of that credit as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. For Jefferson Little League, I We were going to do a little quick something from Delegate Ridenhour. He had a scheduled conflict. He's working on something else in the county right now. I'm not going to steal his thunder, but I will just say, give Delegate Ridenhour a call. He's got some good news for you.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for all three. Can we have a brief recess so we can thank these folks for coming down? Let's take a 5-minute recess.
That's your call.
Reconvening after a brief recess. Next on our agenda, we have Roger Goodwin, Director of Engineering, Planning and Zoning. We are on pages 26 through 50.
Good evening.
Hello.
So I am here tonight to present the Shepherdstown Profit Center rezoning requests, file 26-1Z. This is item 7. I believe it starts on page 28 here. So this is a request. The subject parcel is along Martinsburg Pike, so it is basically just the west of Shepherdstown. It has been operating as either an insurance or a bank since 1986 is my understanding, as the applicant has indicated. And the request here today is to be rezoned from residential growth to office commercial mixed use. This went before the Planning Commission as part of the process. You guys originally scheduled the public hearing for this evening. Planning Commission was able to see it 2 days ago, and they found that it was consistent with comprehensive plan for the reasons I'll get to in a second on the next page of your packet here. As we've discussed in the past, when evaluating a rezoning request for consistency with comprehensive plan, we look at 3 factors. They generally, of course, boil down to the future land use guide, where it is designated as general commercial, and they are looking to rezone to office commercial mixed use. It is within the Shepherdstown preferred growth area. Now, this can be sometimes confused with the growth management boundary. That's a different function. This is specifically within the Shepherdstown preferred growth area, which is where we expect higher intensity development. And finally, because of its access to utilities, as well as being along Martinsburg Pike, it hits the 3 criteria we look at when finding consistent with comprehensive plan. There's also text throughout the plan that speaks to the importance of commercial uses. My understanding from conversations with the applicant is this isn't specifically tied to any immediate plans or such, but they look as they're forecasting to future uses for the property. They thought this rezoning, after discussing it with staff, would be best. I did want to mention one thing that is slightly different from the general commercial designation on the future land use guide. It is, as I said, general commercial, but the office commercial mixed use district does allow some residential uses as well as office commercial uses. So I wanted to make sure that was, something that's aware. We never see necessarily 100% alignment with the comprehensive plan, but this is well within the 3 factors that I brought up previously. All right, that's everything I want to touch on for this rezoning, and I'm happy to answer any questions or hand it off to the applicant. This is a public hearing.
So what kind of residential uses does it allow?
It's actually fairly wide. I included the relevant passages from the zoning ordinances that starts on page functionally 33. That is your description of the district itself. I also included Appendix C, and that'll go through all of them. But just in general terms, it can allow single family detached dwelling units, but it also can allow multifamily dwelling units. You also could conceptually see, say, an office and then residential above, but that's not something we've actually discussed specifically for this property, but it's the potential into the future.
Commissioners, could I suggest that you move and vote to open the public hearing now that we've had a staff report, so that if any members of the public could speak?
So moved. Is there a second? Seconded by, moved by Commissioner Maggi, seconded by Commissioner Hapestay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. And we are now in a public hearing.
Do we have anybody sign up?
I have public comment and I have, oh, yes, we do. The Steins. Fantastic. We'll go with Colin Stein first. And reminder,
This is my wife. She's agreed. Her 3 minutes.
okay, the way we do it is we have a 3-minute time limit. And with 10 seconds to go, I'll make this noise. And then at 3 minutes, I'll do that.
And we can't transfer time. So if you want 3 minutes, you'll get 3 minutes. If your wife wants 3 minutes, she'll get 3 minutes too. Okay. That's just our policy.
So before I start, I want to identify that the page I signed up there was for the Shepherdstown Park comment. Correct?
This is a zoning map amendment for Shepherdstown Profit Center LLC. This is a public hearing, sir.
It's an upzoning request. It's an upzoning request near the Mannix Farm Shopping Center.
So I'm confused because I thought I was commenting, what I was going to comment on is Shepherdstown Park, which was part of Parks and Rec presentation.
There's no public hearing on that, sir. That was just a presentation. We didn't have a public hearing on that.
That's okay.
Do you have any comments on this proposed upzoning as outlined by our staff here?
I do know, Dr. Stein, that there will be another presentation soon about specifically the Shepherdstown Park. So as Jennifer was leaving, she told me that she will be back soon, and I can personally reach out to you and let you know to make sure you can be there for that.
So I think I've been done in less than a minute, but I think it's my comment is absolutely essential to the planning that goes into that park. Why? Because the park does not have public water or public sewer.
Point of order,
is all-
Mr. Chairman, this has nothing to do with this public hearing or this agenda item. This has nothing to do with this agenda item, sorry.
That point of order is well taken. So Dr. Stein, we're certainly interested in the topic as evidenced by our Parks and Rec Department making a presentation, but this is a public hearing on an upzoning for Shepherdstown Profit Center. And if you have any comments on that, we have about a minute left. If not, happy to talk to you outside this meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't have any other people signed up to speak on this upzoning. With that, the chair would like to hear a motion to close the public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public
It's been
hearing.
moved by
Second.
Commissioner Heffestay, seconded by Commissioner Keys.
Commissioner Maggi,
Yes.
is there any input from the applicant?
That has to be part of the public hearing? Is that the process?
I would, yes, I would.
Okay, if it's all right with Commissioner Heffestay and Commissioner Keys, we'll hold for just a second. I didn't realize that was technically part of the public hearing. So thank you to our counsel for clarifying that. Can we have comments from the applicant?
I don't believe they're here.
So I obviously not the applicants. I will note that when we originally spoke with the applicant, they indicated that they might not be available as I believe they were doing their final tour of duty somewhere in the Mediterranean. Sorry, the exact location is slipping my mind right now. They had a representative speak on their behalf 2 nights ago. I unfortunately don't know if the applicant apparently is not here this evening, but I believe there was some prior commitments they had while serving.
And just speaking from the Planning Commission, this was unanimously supported in regards to our comprehensive land use guide, our comprehensive plan goals, as well as the location, because this is right along, as we said, 45, right in the major corridor in Shepherdstown. And honestly, they have some potential excess land. It would make sense to have commercial absorption as opposed to additional primary residential growth uses, which is, in my opinion, and with the comprehensive plan, not in conformity. So this was unanimously supported by the Planning Commission.
Let's get into discussion in just a second. First, let's have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Moved by Commissioner Heffestay, seconded by Commissioner Keys. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Commissioner Keys, your point is very well taken. And I can tell you that this county has talked a lot about less residential growth and more commercial growth so we could achieve balance. We are way out of balance right now. It seems like this upzoning is achieving that high priority goal for the county. Does that sound about right to you?
It does.
All right. Other comments or questions?
I'll be happy to move a motion to approve the rezoning as submitted.
Second?
So moved by
Commissioners,
Commissioner Stolifer, seconded by Commissioner Keys. Council.
Note that the commission, if it should choose to do so, would need to find that this is consistent with the comprehensive plan.
I'd like to amend my motion to find that this application is consistent with the comprehensive plan.
Does a seconder approve?
Yes.
Okay. There's a motion to approve as presented while also finding that the upzoning is consistent with the comprehensive plan. Did I state that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Discussion. I do have a question. The mixed use, do we have percentage, numerical metrics, anything that says what the mix should be in either our ordinances or our comp plan or statement of positions or something?
Not in the same way that we have for residential commercial. It's a
Okay.
little bit different. There's not a requirement. It's dependent upon the applicants.
If I may.
Yeah.
So bearing in mind, I'm not the zoning administrator. I feel a little bit out of my depth wanting to speak to this too freely. We landed on and made the suggestion to the applicant after conversation, of course, with our zoning administrator. If you look on page 34 of your packet, you're going to be looking under E, additional requirements. There is some percentages included in this specific zoning district. And that might also mesh well.
65% shall be non-residential and at least 35% shall be office uses.
Yes, I believe that's correct. Now, the application of that is not something I can speak to. And I think there's some additional caveats when you get down into 3 for non-residential and residential, so gross floor area. My understanding is that this district hasn't been used in the past for a new development specifically. So in terms of application, it's wandering outside of something I'm really comfortable about speculating on the fly. But these are the requirements. It's also why I wanted to include them in the application before you.
Thank you. I'll also note additional requirements E3 on page 34, or if you want to measure it as page 94 of 142, that's posted at the bottom of the document. And the red numbering is page 34. E3, for buildings containing a non-residential use, a minimum of 75% of the total gross floor area located on the ground floor of buildings in a development in this district shall be composed of non-residential space. So what does that mean? When people think of mixed use, they think business on the bottom, residences up top. This requirement speaks to that. I served on a municipal elected body for 6 years that was promoting mixed use that did not have requirements to that end and effectively was replacing a downtown commercial district with high-end luxury housing because there were no minimum requirements. I think this is very smart. I think it's very important. I'm glad it's in here. And one thing I would ask our planning commission liaison is to look at whether or not we need to have more generally applicable rules for mixed use developments in Jefferson County. I understand that it's not a very popular use right now, but if it ever comes to be a popular use, I think we need those requirements so we don't have what I will call fake mixed use, but actual mixed use.
Right. And for this area, this zoning makes sense because there is a demand for residential apartments. You know, you have Shepherd University right there. You have a lot of young professionals who prefer to live in Shepherdstown. So that type of development would be very complementary here. So.
Excellent. Do we have other comments or questions? There's been a motion to approve while also stating compliance with the comprehensive plan or something to that effect. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Congrats.
much.
Great presentation. Thank you. Let's keep moving. Agenda item number 4, consideration of bonding waiver request per Business Park Lot 1, pages 51 through 60.
Commissioner Modgley, before we enter into this particular item, I believe that there is a matter of legal advice that I need to provide the commission. I realize that we will probably enter into executive session later in the meeting, but to avoid disrupting the process here too much, I would request that we could go into executive session for this one particular issue and let me provide you with some legal advice.
Okay, the chair would like to hear a motion to move into executive session to hear legal advice on this agenda item, moved by Commissioner Mood, seconded by Commissioner Keys. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. We're entering executive session to receive legal counsel. There's a second, seconded by Commissioner Keys. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. All right, that was a fascinating discussion. I think we deserve some sort of credit for legal education there. This is really complicated. Thank you, counsel, for explaining the ins and the outs. I think the next step is we still need to gather more information. Could we have our staff meet with the applicant and the applicant's engineer? Chair would like to hear a motion to direct the staff to meet with the applicant and the applicant's engineer to discuss this project. Moved by Commissioner Mood, seconded by Commissioner Stolper. Is there discussion on this motion?
Yes, maybe a friendly amendment to bring it back to the commission following that meeting.
Yeah, at the next available moment, as soon as practicable, as soon as practicable.
Yeah.
The mover and the seconder both agree with that. So there's a motion to direct our staff to meet with the applicant and the applicant's engineer, the person who produced the document that's in our agenda packet, and to report back to the county commission as soon as practicable. Further discussion or debate?
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. We're going to hear more about this soon.
Okay.
Thank you to you both.
Thank you.
Excellent. We're going to move through our agenda. Boards and commissions, pages 61 through 87. Ah, yes, the Agritourism Task Force. We have been looking forward to today for quite a while. This is going to be a great day. 10 seconds. I know we got to move through this real quickly. I'll just say the county commission is very interested in promoting the agritourism industry in Jefferson County. We have a problem with balanced growth in Jefferson County. We keep having farms sold to mega housing developments. Most of that is happening in the municipalities. Some of it's happening on county property. We need to give farmers and landowners some options so they can do something other than selling to a major housing development. Last year, our legislature, led by Delegate Clark, passed laws that revolutionized the law in the state of West Virginia on agritourism. We're going to hear a little bit about that in just a second from Delegate Clark. And when I asked Delegate Clark, great, when can we see this in Jefferson County? I heard, well, have you looked at your county ordinances? And I said, well, what do you mean? Apparently, we've got some rules on our own books that set up hurdles for this type of industry to grow. And I'd like to learn what those are and see what we can do to promote the industry here. That's among a few other reasons why we're forming this task force to promote the agritourism industry right here in Jefferson County. I'd like to hear from applicants. Thank you all so much for volunteering your time. Let's go through and do some interviews. We have listed here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 applicants. My request to my colleagues on the county commission is that tonight we at least appoint a quorum so this group can meet and start work, because I think it's important that we get this going. We don't have to finalize everything tonight, but at least a quorum, that would be 5. If we go up to more, that's something we can decide later. We haven't even started interviewing, but I really think it's important we get a quorum for this task force so we can get this work started.
And just to let the commission know, we have 2 applicants online, and there are 2 that could not attend, and that's Holly Morgan Fry and Brett Offit.
Off it.
Profit.
Okay, let's go in what seems to be alphabetical order. No, that's a coincidence. Okay, first we have Jen Bro. Ms. Bro, come on up. Yes, if you could please take a seat, and those, do you need to press a button to turn that microphone on?
It's green. It must be on.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Could you tell us about your interest in agritourism and your experience, please?
Absolutely. So I have a vested interest in agritourism. I have a family farm over actually in Loudoun County, Virginia, just over the border. I am a Jefferson County resident, however. I've lived here since 2018. My farm is 404 acres. I farm about 100 acres of grapes at Bro Vineyards. And I took over the business from my father 21 years ago. My children work there as well. So we are 3 generations running our family farm. And without agritourism, we would not be here today. And there's a good fight being fought in Loudoun right now to preserve family farms such as wineries, breweries, orchards, because of zoning regulations. And the importance of agritourism, I can't state enough. Without it, again, we would close our doors. Our farm was purchased way back when, 36 years ago, because it was an aging farm. The owners of the property were getting older. They were being offered money to developers to purchase the land. And at the same time, my family was looking to purchase a farm in Virginia and start a vineyard. And thankfully, we were able to secure that property. We had a few grapes on the property that were recultivated just to test things out. We also had horses, cattle, hay, and soybeans that we farmed for a number of years. There was no agritourism at that time. And the pivotal point was when we were given our inherent rights by the Virginia Farm Wineries Act to have agritourism activities on our land. That was a pivotal point for us. We went from about 26, 30 acres up to 104 acres and have been successful ever since.
Questions from the commission?
No, I know your operation very well. You run a great winery, and love visiting your spot over there in Loudoun County.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I agree. I think it's incredible. We need to have some of your talent on this task force. So I think you would be a wonderful help. So
You're very qualified, and thank you for attending in person. We appreciate that. So.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Our next applicant, and no stranger to the commission, Delegate Wayne Clark. Delegate, thank you for making time for us and for leading this effort heretofore. For those who don't know, could you tell us about your experience with agritourism?
First, I'm very nervous. So
in 30 seconds or less, so I'm just kidding.
So one of the awesome things that, I bring to the table, the fact that in the state legislature, is seeing the Agriculture, Commerce, and Tourism Committee. I'm actually going to Glade Springs next week to sit on a panel at the State Agritourism Conference. So bringing what I've seen in Charleston back home, I think is very important for what we can do here in Jefferson County. Obviously, Jefferson County, we're a very unique county regarding many of the things that we provide. For those who are listening and don't know, or those that are in the audience don't know, almost $1 billion in economic impact by tourism alone here in Jefferson County. And if you take that in consideration, based off the state, $9 billion came in 2025 for economic impact statewide. We generated almost $1 billion of that money. We have opportunities to expand on that. We have opportunities to enhance on that. One of the things that I've worked on is passing several individual tourism enhancement pieces of legislation, along with many ABCA reforms for those of you who will be attending West Virginia Fest coming up in June, the opportunity to enjoy to enjoy an alcoholic beverage during that process and walk from one establishment to the other, which is the public outdoor designated area. That is something that I brought into the state of West Virginia to enhance tourism and enhance the opportunity for our affairs and festivals to expand. So I'm excited about the opportunity to participate in the Jefferson County Agritourism Committee, and hopefully I get approved.
Thank you very much, Delegate. Do we have questions for Delegate?
No.
Thank you for attending in person. I know you're a busy guy, so we appreciate you being here tonight.
You're welcome,
And I'll
sir.
just note that Ms. Bro said it was a seminal moment when Virginia passed its state law to change the legal structure behind agritourism. And I want to thank you for representing Jefferson County so well and passing West Virginia's state law to create the legal structure that we need to promote this industry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Next, we have Daryl Coles, friend of the commission.
Evening.
Mr. Coles, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Could you tell everybody what your occupation is and your interest in agritourism, sir?
Sure. As you are well aware, I'm the new Economic Development Director here in Jefferson County. So it's day 8 or 9 on the job for me, but I'm excited about the future. And certainly agriculture is a big industry in economic development in Jefferson County. But a couple things you may not know about me. I was participating in the Morgan County Farmland Protection Board for over a decade and a member of the Farm Bureau in Morgan County for probably 20 years. But I live on the family farm over in Berkeley Springs. I'm not much of a farmer, but tourism is a big industry in Berkeley Springs. Tourism is a big industry here in Jefferson County, and farming and agriculture is a big part of our way of life in the Eastern Panhandle for a long time. So I've spent a lifetime in business and economic development and in government, state and local government issues, spent some time in the governor's office. So I think my perspective can really help the group as we explore what the possibilities might be.
Thank you, Mr. Coles. Questions for our economic development director?
Thank you for coming. You're a fabulous resource. It's wonderful that you're here helping us. So
thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coles.
Thank you.
Next on our list, we have Heather Duncan. Is Ms. Duncan here?
She's not here in
Is she
person.
online?
Is she online? She's online.
Excellent. Ms. Duncan, my opening question for you, could you tell us about your experience with agritourism and explain your interest in the board, please, in this task force, please?
Sure. So I apologize for not being there in person. I'm actually in Cowan, West Virginia, here in Webster County at the state's premier environmental competition for high school seniors or high school students in general. It's an international competition. So these are where our next biologists, farmers, those working for our state and federal agencies, this is where they start their career. So I apologize again, but this is where I need to be for the future of West Virginia. So I am interested in especially the traditional portion of agriculture. That was stated at the last task force, kind of kickoff meeting. Without having the agricultural portion, it's hard to have the agritourism part. So we have to have the agriculture to be able to make sure that all levels of agriculture are going to be able to be represented and to be able to be continued to be represented. So I hope that background, my experience in agriculture, I'm an executive director, for a state association that is involved completely in agriculture. Spent a lot of time with Delegate Coles and Delegate Clark in Charleston, making sure that agriculture, conservation, the environment are heard, and that we are able to continue this livelihood as best we can. So I appreciate your time. Again, wish that I could be there in person, but I'm here trying to make sure our youth stay involved in agriculture and in the environment. Thank you.
And thank you. And what is the organization?
So I work for the West Virginia Association of Conservation Districts.
Okay.
So the Eastern Panhandle Conservation District would be your local conservation district of the area, but there are 13 other conservation districts across the state.
Okay, great. And that's
And-
under the Department of Agriculture?
No, so conservation districts are nonpartisan elected. So they are not actually under the Department of Agriculture. However, they do work closely with the West Virginia Conservation Agency.
Ms. Duncan, do you have experience working with farmers?
I do. So I am a farmer myself. My husband's family is very involved in agriculture throughout the county. I live on my family farm outside of Shepherdstown. We have a hay, cattle, crop operation. And then we also do custom work for others as well. And then my 9-to-5 job is completely involved in agriculture and then the farming as well on the side.
Thank you. I think it's important that we all understand that. Any other questions?
Darn good excuse for not being here in person. Kudos.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan.
Thank you.
All right, our next applicant, Benjamin German. Is Mr. German here? Thank you for being here, sir.
I have to ask, have you been talking to Miss Jen about her wines?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Jen and I have
okay.
a-
'Cause I don't know, the cat's out of the bag maybe that you own Four Choices wine with your wife in
Yes.
downtown Charlestown. Okay,
Yes.
great.
But I also had the privilege of working with Jen Bro back in 2008. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. So it was really exciting for me to see her name on the list.
Good.
Excellent. And sir, could you tell us about your experience in agritourism and why you're interested in serving on this task force?
Absolutely. I was born on a farm in Loudoun County. My first job at 15 years old was working for a winery. I had the chance to work again with Jen at Bro for a couple of years. Seeing the farm tours was really something very special there. The bulk of my career, however, has been in hospitality, mostly in high-end hotels in the Mid-Atlantic area, and recently owning the business here in Charlestown. A lot of what I've done professionally has been, hosting guests and helping them get an experience that's true to place when they would come to stay at my hotel to help them find those tours, whether it's wine tours, beer tours, finding farms, finding historical parks, helping to architect experiences so visitors could spend money in my location.
Questions from the commission?
I don't have any. No.
Thank you for attending tonight.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you. Our next applicant is Ms. Morgan Fry. She online?
So she said that she would not be able to attend tonight.
Okay, that's too bad, but we do have a copy of her resume. Thank you so much. Our next applicant is Mr. Offit. Same question. Is he in person or online?
The same response. He was also unable to attend.
But we do have a copy of his resume. We can look over that. Our next applicant is Mary Sell. Thank you for being here. So shall we say Chairwoman Sell?
I'm sorry. Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for being here and for serving on our Water Advisory Committee and leading that effort. I have a question for you, ma'am. Could you tell us about your experience with agritourism and about your interest in this task force, please?
Certainly. I moved to this county 23 years ago with my husband, who's a lifetime horseman. And my experience with agritourism is I've been involved with the West Virginia Thoroughbred breeders and the racing and breeding industry for years. I served until recently as the chair of the legislative committee. One of the things we looked at is that we had, I mentioned to Commissioner Keys, that when we would go down to Charleston, we were representing only 4 counties. And so we worked with Commissioner Leonhardt to establish the West Virginia Horse Coalition, which has received its first grant from the DNR and is putting in a trail at Pipestem. Part of the issues with agritourism is also equine agritourism, because many people here who are involved in horseback riding leave the state and go that travel, just like your own sports complex. I worked with Meredith Waite on her Shenandoah Horse Park, and my previous job before I worked at where I'm currently employed, I spent 7 years working for a law firm that worked before the USDA on the commodity promotion boards. So we worked on research and development and promoting various cows, dairy farmers, chickens, and well, all kinds of farming stuff. But for me, what we have noticed here is that we are just not, I don't see that agritourism is including a lot of the horse farms. And to your note about horses, horses are a big part of why the track is coupled with horse racing. It's private money, and when people come here as tourists and wager their private money, that money is tourism money. But I think we have not leveraged our farms. We don't have my tourism here is not as robust as it has been in Virginia, working in the Loudoun County where I have been riding, and I'm running a race in Virginia on Sunday, and we got grants from Virginia, from the governor. It's Virginia's for Lovers. I don't see that equine agritourism has been promoted enough here, and horses are so much of a base of the agriculture component in Jefferson County, and it's not being fully fleshed out. The fairgrounds really need a big infusion to draw people here, but I envision a breeding show, stallion shows, a wine and cheese and pet a pony or meet a horse, and introducing all into the equine. At the SB 1060 is going to be a big shot in the arm to help horses stay here and come here. I think the governor's right. We're losing our equine agritourism. I think we're losing our equine agritourism to Maryland and Virginia. And I'd like to
just
see
really
some of that here.
quickly, that was a bill that was recently signed into law, literally right here in Jefferson County, and that will help promote the industry. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Excellent. Questions?
Well, yeah,
for
a
Chairwoman
good
Sell?
comment. I have a family member that owns a winery and horse farm, and they complement each other. So the horses help bring in, it's a unique experience for guests, and it's a very complementary agritourism business. And that's the type of thing I think, Jefferson County residents want to have here.
And I think we have Mountain Valley, Mountain Polo, and we have other farms that would do trail riding or give lessons, a therapy. So I have not been as promoting in equine tourism in West Virginia, except for my work with the West Virginia Horse Coalition to try to get that up and running, that every little sector of the state would promote horses through this overarching group that is a 501c3 that was set up by Commissioner Leonhardt.
One quick question. I know one of the tourism industries in Virginia is point to point. Do we have a farm or farms, plural, in Jefferson County would make a great point to point location, or we could use it for point to point? Or maybe you got to think about that.
I have to think about it.
I'm thinking too, like if we have something here, because I know they just recently had some in Clark County.
You went to Blue Ridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the next circuit. I'm at Loudoun on Sunday. Those Blue Ridge and Loudoun both, we work with the National Steeplechase Association, and so that they fund the purses, but that is a big draw. I mean, we expect 4,000 or 5,000 people on Sunday to come from all states. We have pony racing, which is really fun. There's a U.S. pony racing to get kids running. They run a short distance, but it's a big draw. But we don't have what Virginia's got, but the Blue Ridge and the Loudoun, it's supported by the National Steeplechase Association. Those point to points are all based on, came from hunts. The term point to point is, in the olden days, people would race their horses, and that was from a point to point, and the highest point was steeplechase, was the steeple of a church, and that's how they came to that. So, but that's something we certainly could. I've got contacts at the steeplechase and the Loudoun Hunt, which I'm involved with, that we've been putting on. I've been putting on that race since 1998. We're having our 59th this Sunday. So that's where I have had experience with agritourism.
We've had a lot of conversations with people tonight who are volunteering hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, whether it's youth sports, agritourism, what have you. May I ask you, with your responsibilities on the Water Advisory Committee, do you have time for this?
I do have time. I've stepped down from some other boards, so I do have time
Okay,
to make
I'm
time
glad to
for
hear
that.
it.
So this one's really near and dear to my heart.
Excellent.
That's why I'm in Jefferson County. It's because of horses.
Further questions from the commission?
Mary, it's always great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for
Commissioner.
coming tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving.
Thank you so much. Our next applicant is David Lutman. Is he online? Okay, I hear something. Do we have the audio working?
I'm here. Can everybody hear
Oh,
me?
excellent. Thank you, Mr. Lutman. Could you tell
Good
us
evening,
about,
commissioners.
could you tell us about your experience with agritourism and your interest in this task force?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a lifelong resident, lived here my entire life. And while I'm not a farmer, I am involved in very grassroots parts of our community. And for instance, even last night after our children's 4-H meeting, we were talking some of the 4-H members that are farmers, and they don't want to be price takers. So they don't want to be driven to a commodity market where they're told how much it costs to produce their crop and how much they have to sell their crop for. They need to move their businesses to be successful and to keep their farming operations to continue. They need to become price makers. And we can do that with agritourism, whether it's through winery or breweries or other agritourism events, wedding venues, whatever it be. The only way we keep farming alive and active in our community is to allow our farmers to be price makers. And to that fact, I am very familiar with our local zoning and land use regulations, and I think I can help many local farmers understand the hurdles at the planning and zoning offices and move through those in an expedited fashion.
I had two questions for you. I think you answered both of them. I was going to ask, can you advise on the finances of how to make these projects viable? And can you advise on our local zoning ordinances? And it sounds like the answer to both of those is yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I think this task force needs both of those skill sets. Questions from the commission? Everything.
Thanks for dialing in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this evening.
Us know you, which could be a big benefit or detriment to your appointment. But you served honorably in the county and you do some great building projects. So thanks for applying.
Thank you for having me.
I'll ask the same question I asked Ms. Sell. You were on the JCDA, the Jefferson County Development Authority. Do you have time for this task force as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, sir. Other questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Lutman.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good evening.
You too. That concludes our interviews. We have 8 spots. We have 7 people who have interviewed, 2 people who we did not get a chance to interview today. We need to appoint a commissioner as well. Let's start with discussion, and then we'll go into nominations. Broad discussion, I would just say that as long as we this body is able to meet a quorum after today, I'm happy. What I heard from all these applicants is we have a lot of qualified people. We have enough qualified people to fill this task force. And if my math is correct, we could actually hold off on the 2 people we did not interview tonight. And if we wanted to, there's room for 7 people who we did interview. Put them on. I don't really have strong opinions on the timing. You know, some of the slots are for 1 year, other slots are for 2 years, other slots are for 3 years. I don't have strong opinions on that. I just want to get this thing started. And I'll officially, not as a nomination or anything, but I'll just note that I'd be interested in serving as the commissioner on this task force.
Are we opening up for nominations now?
General discussion, any other points generally?
I'm just very impressed with all the applicants.
Yeah, same. And are we allowed to have 2 commissioners serving on a task force? Because
As
it
long
might
as you
be-
don't have a quorum, but that's up to you. The bylaws only provide for 1. I just will note on the memo that I provided in your packet, my dates are off. So the first starts in 26 and you will not be pointing for a term that is ending. So you'll want to start at 27, 28, and 29.
27, 28, 29.
If nominations are open, are they yet?
Did anybody else have general comments?
Yeah, and it could be me or somebody else, but I think one thing that might be helpful is someone either, whether it be a staff position, it could be someone from the planning office, from a technical perspective, with zoning regulations, zoning laws with what we have in the county. So if we have these, if we're leveraging both the legislature and experts in the field, we also need to also couple that with our local ordinances. So I think we need to have kind of those three plus JCDA representation. I think it's kind of like a chair. You need all four legs.
Thank
So
you.
that could be a non-commissioner, that could just be a staff position.
Okay. Great points. Any other points generally before we open it up? Okay, Commissioner Stomper, I think you're interested in making nominations.
Yeah, I like to nominate everyone who interviewed tonight. That would include Jen Bro, Wayne Clark, Daryl Coles, Heather Duncan, Benjamin Germain, Mary Sell, and Dave Lutman.
You know, I was gonna say, well, whoever he didn't nominate, I'll nominate him too, but you covered them all.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have
Oh,
seven
sorry.
nominees, and I think the way we want to do this is I would ask.
I want to make a recommend. It's going to be tough because we have to have a couple in 28 expiring in 29, 28 and 27. I would just recommend going in alphabetical order and just putting alphabetical order the longest term, and just basically how they interviewed tonight. I don't know. And I don't know how to do that fair.
Yeah, I've never cared about that. I know that's not that, some people think it's a big deal. I don't. I think we just put them on and see how it goes.
Correct.
Okay, and I agree with the sentiment that we have 7 qualified people. We have more spots than the 7, so let's just put them all on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out which ones are going to expire 27, 28, and 29.
Right. So 2 for 27.
Yep.
3 for 28.
And 3 for 29.
And 3 for 29.
And we could start with 29 first and work our way down since we have
Sure.
empties.
Okay, the chair would like to hear a motion to appoint Jen Bro to the Agritourism Task Force for a term expiring January 15th, 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Hold on. Comma. Wayne Clark, wait, Jack, last time you said you want to vote on them separately, right? You want to do that again tonight?
No, it's not necessary tonight.
Let me just read them all off
I
and then we'll
would be
do one.
happy with any of you, so.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So let me state the full motion. I'm going to restart it.
Sorry.
Chair would like to hear a motion to appoint Jen Bro to the Agritourism Task Force for a term expiring January 15th, 2029. Wayne Clark, Delegate Wayne Clark, for a term expiring January 15th, 2029. Daryl Coles for a term expiring January 15th, 2029. Heather Duncan, January 15th, 27. Benjamin German, January 15th, 27.
28. These are 20.
Shoot, 28?
Yeah, Heather Duncan is 28.
Almost got it right. Okay. Benjamin German, January 15th, 2028.
Yep.
Mary Sell, January 15th, 2028.
You missed one.
And David Lutman, for term expiring January 15th, 2027. Did I get that right?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
So moved.
Okay, moved
No.
by Commissioner Stolper. Eddie, did that sound right?
No, I only have one 27 and you should have 2 27s.
We're missing one. We only have 7 out of 8.
Okay. So just to read them in reverse order here. So then we're looking first Jen Bro, Wayne Clark, Daryl Coles, Heather Duncan, and then I missed
Benjamin.
Mr. German.
Mm-hmm.
28. And then the next one that was here was Mary Sell, right?
Okay.
And that would be 28. And then Dave Lutman, 29.
Dave Letman, 27.
Or 27. Sorry, I'm going backwards here. All right.
Harder than it looks.
So then to read the motion, it would be Jen Bro for a term ending in 29, Wayne Clark for a term ending in 29, Daryl Coles for a term ending in 29, Heather Duncan for a term ending in 28, Benjamin German for a term ending in 28, Mary Sell for a term ending in 28, and David Lutman for a term ending in 27.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Been moved by Commissioner Stolper. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mood. We've discussed it, but other thoughts from the commission?
This is one of the strongest groups of people coming in for interviews that I've seen, so.
Thank you. And I'll note Delegate Clark, thank you for your leadership to attract these highly qualified people to these positions. That is the motion. We're going to have to appoint a commissioner after that, but for right now, let's go ahead and vote on this. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Congratulations to all of you. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more work to do.
Competitive.
A little bit more work to do. I'm interested in serving. Commissioner Keys, you're interested in serving
Interested
as well?
or, even a non-voting
Mhm.
member of our planning staff.
Mhm.
It's a technical expertise. So when you're throwing all these ideas out,
Look, if only two commissioners come to the meeting, that does not violate any open meetings
I'm
act.
happy to do it.
So
if
why
you'd
don't you
like
come
me to.
along
Yeah.
and then we'll see where it goes. We might bring staff later.
Yeah.
Or
I'll voluntold Andy Bell at some point. maybe to come join me.
I'll move a motion to have Commissioner Keys and Commissioner Majdi jointly serve as commissioner liaison to this board.
okay, so that's where it gets a little complicated because the bylaws of the board say there should be one commissioner.
Okay, one commissioner, you're okay being a liaison then, a non-voting member. I'll make a motion to have Commissioner Majdi as the voting member and Commissioner Keys as the non-voting member. Is that okay?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded.
And
What do
friendly
you
amen-
think about that?
And
Does that
friendly,
work?
I'm completely fine with that,
Okay.
but maybe friendly amendment, if you are not there, I could be a voting member in your
Yeah,
place.
so what we've done with JCDA, we've had essentially an alternate.
Mhm.
And that's because our commissioners have a lot of responsibilities around the county. Sometimes you can't make it this meeting because you're at a different meeting. I think it's worked really well.
It has.
Does that work for
Yeah,
you?
that's great.
I'm okay with the friendly amendment.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Who seconded it? I forgot. Commissioner Hepestay, further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passed unanimously. Let's tag team it. Terrific.
All right.
All right. Congratulations to you all. This is going to be a terrific board. We're moving in the right direction in Jefferson County.
Thank you.
Moving along with our agenda. Thank you. Next up. We are on pages 88 through 89. Supposed to start at 8:15. It is 9:05. Apologies to the sheriff. Sheriff Hanson, are you here? Okay, thank you for being patient with us. We had to receive some legal advice that took some time. We're running a little bit behind, but we're up on pages 88 through 89.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sheriff.
First of all, the agenda it's not reinstatement, it's a rehire.
Okay.
Okay, I'm requesting the approval to rehire Tyler Stair as a deputy to fill a vacancy created by the resignation of Kaylee Gano. He is already a certified officer working in the county, had previously completed our field training officer program. We're requesting that he be hired and made effective the week of April 27th. That starting salary is $66,689. This is budget neutral.
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Stolper, seconded by Commissioner Mood. Discussion, it's budget neutral, folks. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Thank you.
As a procedural question, is it possible to do this on a consent agenda moving forward? Let's look at that. That's a long
So-
time to wait for the sheriff and we don't want to keep him
Yeah,
here.
we-
He's
we
a busy
can-
man.
We needed the name and the dollar amount in order
Okay.
to know that it was within budget, but
Okay.
we didn't have that until the meeting.
Okay, all right. We'll speed that up next time, Sheriff. Thank you very much. Thank you for being patient with us. Thank you. Hey, we're making up good time now. Next, Commissioner Stolper, this is very interesting. We are on pages 90 through 173, Farmland Protection Board. This is a major project. Could you tell us a little bit about this and open it up as we get started here?
Yes, Jason Adams is doing a great job with farmland preservation. And this
Thank
is
you for
the
being here, Jason.
first couple we've had. This first one's this year. that we're getting across the finish line. And this is going to take us above 7,000 acres in the county, I believe. I don't want to take away your thunder, Jason, but farmland preservation is important because it protects the reliable local food supply. It safeguards natural resources like soil and water and maintains rural landscapes and supports the economics of our farming community and our community heritage. But I'd like to say Jason's done a great job. We had to have a wonderful board, and again, it's great serving on the board with Jason and the professionals I'm on there with. But I don't want to take your thunder because you have a lot to go over, so go right ahead.
Mr. Adams, please tell us about this proposal here. We're very excited to hear.
Well, certainly. Good evening, commissioners, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the Farmland Protection Board to ask your approval for the purchase of 3 new conservation easements. So number 1, this is RB Moeller, Old Ryder Road, Harpers Ferry District. This is 174 acres. The Natural Resources Conservation Service, or NRCS, a sub-agency of the USDA, is providing matching funds for this purchase. The board's contribution is $506,500. Number 2 is Daniel and Sarah Chital, Leetown Road, Middleway District, 118 acres. NRCS is also providing matching funds for this purchase. The board's contribution is $390,000. Number 3, this is Barbara Keenan, Mary O'Brien, and James Milano. They're the owners of the Milano Farm. That is the Cabletown District. It is 157 acres, including 1/3 of a mile of shoreline on the Shenandoah River. NRCS is again providing matching funds for the purchase of this as well. A grant has been provided to the board by the Outdoor Heritage Conservation Fund of West Virginia. The board's contribution is $754,500. All due diligence and review has been completed for each of these applicants, and they are ready to close. With the addition of these 3 properties, the Farmland Protection Board will hold 62 conservation easements, totaling 7,395 acres. That constitutes about 12% of the agricultural land in Jefferson County currently.
Wow.
The board currently has 8 more easements in process for an additional 1,030 acres. Well, as always, the Farmland Protection Board does not request funding from the commission. The easements are acquired from grants, donations from private citizens, and from the proceeds of a small percentage of the real estate transfer tax. Do you have any questions for me?
This is a $750,000 purchase, is that right?
That's right.
This is a major investment. Congratulations on all the hard work that's been put into putting this together. Wow.
It's these are all excellent properties. All of them are dedicated farmers, and especially the last one, as mentioned, the Milano Farm is an incredible property on the cliffs of the Shenandoah River. Hopefully, when I have a press release for this, if you choose to approve these, we'll see some great photos.
Well, I'd like to move a motion to approve the purchase by the Jefferson County Farm.
Commissioner, I have a few comments on,
Sure, go
on
ahead.
these.
Council, please.
And I don't want to make them right now. And I would suggest that you make historically, the Farmland Protection Board has provided us with copies of agreements prior to making determinations like this, and we've kind of vetted them on behalf of the county. And in this particular case, they were not provided to us, and I'm not, casting stones or anything. I think we've had a different administration take place, and maybe it kind of got lost in the shuffle. But our office has a few comments, and I would suggest that if you approve these, that you approve them conditioned on our review and offering comments to the Farmland Protection Board, because we just have a few things we would like to clarify in the documents.
Okay. I'll be happy to do that. I'd like to move a motion to approve the purchase of the Jefferson County Farmland Protection Board for the Jefferson County Farmland Protection Program, 3 conservation easements, subject to the review of our legal department. These properties are owned respectively by R.B. Moeller, Daniel and Sarah Child, Barbara Milano Keenan.
Second.
The move by Commissioner Soliper, second by Commissioner Mood. I do have a question. Council, I think the answer is yes, but I need to ask, is this prudent or do we need to hold off so you can have a process by which you review and we come back to it at the next meeting?
I assume that we can resolve the issues, but it's probably the safest, the most cautious way is to put it off until the next meeting.
Okay.
Could I interject?
Yeah.
Certainly.
So the Voluntary Farmland Protection Act doesn't provide for the prosecuting attorney of a county to oversee these.
Right.
It's been customary that my predecessor did so, but it's not necessary. Right now, 4 different attorneys review these, including the title attorney, NRCS's due diligence task force and our own legal counsel. So this is perhaps I could call this overkill in that regard, but
Okay.
Those are my comments.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Does the motioner or the seconder want to change it based on the council's comments, or shall we proceed?
I think we could proceed. I think our legal can still review it and get back to it in a timely fashion, so we don't have to hold up the process.
Okay. Are there other further comments or questions from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is a major
Thank you,
accomplishment.
Jason.
We're very
Thank
proud.
you.
We're very grateful for your hard work. Speaking of conservation, we have a special guest. Could we have representatives of the Shenandoah Valley Battlefields come on up? Kevin, thank you so much for being here. And I got to say, I had a hell of a time at your annual banquet last week. I'm very familiar with this because we've talked about it many times. The history of how this, the law was passed is very peculiar. It puts us and Virginia in a strange place. And if you could tell the folks on this commission and those watching about the history here and why this resolution is needed and what we're trying to accomplish, I think it's compelling. And I hope that the outcome will be positive from the federal government. But Kevin, I'll give you the floor.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. President, members of the commission. Thank you for having me here this evening. I'll try to be brief. I represent the Shenandoah Valley Battlefields National Historic District. The National Historic District was created by the United States Congress in 1996 after about 6 years of wrangling back and forth in the halls of Congress to get it created. At that time, the United States was in the mood to remember the Civil War. And it was a big deal in Congress to create something new to recognize the Civil War, its history, and its importance in the tourism economy. At the time, also in Congress, there was a debate between the West Virginia delegation and the Virginia delegation over the location or the future location of an FBI training center. And the wrangling over that debate resulted in the National Historic District being created in a way that only included Virginia's counties in the Shenandoah Valley, completely removing Jefferson, Berkeley, and Morgan counties from the benefits of the National Historic District. For more than 20 years, we have been working as a National Historic District quietly to rectify that situation. The West Virginia legislature had petitioned Congress, I think in 2007, to ask that the counties in the panhandle of West Virginia be added. And currently, the extension of the Great American Outdoors Act, which is now called the America the Beautiful Act, has put an opportunity back on the table for us to revisit this again. And we're hoping that language will be added to the America the Beautiful Act, which will right this decades long omission and include Jefferson County in the National Historic District where it belongs. Jefferson County, many historians will tell you, is actually where the Civil War begins. Although the first shots are fired at Fort Sumter, really it's with John Brown's raid that the nation is put on the path to war. Having it not included in the district is almost unconscionable. And so we would be thrilled if this commission would consider petitioning Congress with a resolution for inclusion in the National Historic District.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'll note that our neighbors in Berkeley County and Morgan County have acted in support. I think we should join them. We have a copy of the resolution here. It is late in the evening. I feel like it's not necessary to read it into the record. Perhaps we can just vote on it in support. Does anybody have any questions for Kevin or comments on this?
Good to see you again, Kevin.
It's nice to see you as well.
Yeah, and I think it just from what we've talked about, I mean, there's a lot of precedence to having us included. You have a map, you have a trail, it's a tourism boost. So adding Jefferson, Berkeley, Morgan would help West Virginia and our economic base in tourism. Would you agree with that?
We absolutely agree. The impact that the National Historic District has had over the last 30 years in the Virginia counties is palatable. There's been more than 170,000 visits to the district's Civil War sites, not counting special events, over the last year. And so far this year, we've seen almost a 20% uptick year over year in visitation because of the marketing that we're doing. We really are driving heritage tourism in a big way.
And you have a membership fee that would allow folks who are on the Virginia side at all your locations to be able to expand into new locations or new partnerships. Would that be correct?
Absolutely.
Right.
Chair would like to hear a motion
So move.
Second?
to pass this resolution in support of the inclusion of Jefferson County, West Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley Battlefields National Historic District, moved by Commissioner Stolper, seconded by Commissioner Keys. Further discussion. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, and we will move on to our next agenda item, update and consideration of the historic courthouse and the sale of Washington properties. Council, can we receive a briefing on this and legal considerations in executive session? Do you think it's a good idea?
Commissioner, I was going to suggest that, that we enter into executive session to receive some legal advice regarding this issue.
Okay. Chair would like to hear a motion to that effect, moved by Commissioner Stahl.
Wait,
Hold on.
Hold up. I was going to say,
I
should
jumped quickly, didn't I?
Yeah, you
Sorry.
jumped very quick. Could we take care of agenda item number 10 and then maybe see what number 11 holds us for executive session and 12 so we don't have to come back out executive session?
Thank you. That was my suggestion as well.
Yeah, so sorry. So I would suggest we just hold off on executive session until we get to 11 and 12, see what items we
Well,
need to talk about.
Normally I'd say yes. Let me ask you this, Mr. Bound, can we do yours quickly?
Absolutely.
Well, in that case, great point. Thank you. Let's hold off. Let's change our schedule around. We're going to do agenda item number 10 quickly. Pages 176 through 183. Mr. Bound, the floor is yours.
Yes, thanks, Commissioners. We have the Commission on Ambulance Exonerations as presented.
So move.
Thank you.
Is there a second? Commissioner Happas, I didn't quite hear you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Commissioner Stolper and then Commissioner Happas seconded. All those in favor of approving the ambulance fee exonerations as presented indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Opinion of the chair, ayes have it.
Thank you. We have two budget adjustments that are internal, that are dollar for dollar, one for one. One is for the IT department, one is for the sheriff's department.
That's right.
And the third is external, that due to the war, the fuel went up, so fleets needs money from maintenance. But it needs to be an external.
But still in Laura's department, just moving from maintenance to fleets.
Okay, and when you say dollar for dollar or one for one, that means our budget is still on.
Still intact for the two. The other one is the same. It's just moving 77,000 from the courthouse to the general garage. Maintenance to fleets.
Got it. The chair would like to hear a motion to approve the budget adjustments as presented. Moved by Commissioner Mood. Seconded by Commissioner Stolper. Debate. All those in favor of the budget neutral adjustments indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Thank you.
So the next one is from Kayla, who turned over a little report to me because we're working on trying to establish a small museum in the rotunda of this building. We're working with the Jefferson County Museum, the Spirit of Jefferson, the Jefferson County Historical Society, and the Jefferson County Arts Council. We've identified a grant and would like the authorization to apply for that grant.
Okay, that seems like a great idea.
Is there a match requirement?
No, there's not. And the goal is to restore a historic printing press that was operated by the Spirit. The Spirit is our journal of record, and then it'll be surrounded by news articles that were published in the Spirit on local government in the area. And then there'll be exhibits throughout the rotunda. Some of the things are that we have over in the Hunter House and have no use for, the couch, which made the front page of Spirit at one point. So we can bring all of those things over to put on display and people can experience the
I might need a
history of the
history
commission.
lesson on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
It's not that
that's a waste of
interesting.
your time. Trust me.
But you could sit on it.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this application?
Yes.
Moved by Commissioner Mood, seconded by Commissioner Hapestad. Did I state that properly? I don't think I did. Eddie?
So a motion to approve the application for the collection stewardship grant with partnership with the Jefferson County Museum, the Spirit of Jefferson, Jefferson County Historical Society, and the Jefferson County Arts Council as presented.
That work?
Yes.
That work. The mover and the seconder both agree with that. Is there discussion on this motion? Hearing none. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Great. Can't wait to see that. Now, let's go back to agenda item 9, update and consideration of the historic courthouse and the sale of Washington properties.
I have 2 items that can also be considered in open session, and then we can knock out the open session, which would be item 12. We have the Child Care Provider Appreciation Day proclamation, and then signage for 393.
Okay, I really want to get to this executive session fast. Are these quick?
One is a motion to approve the Child Care Provider Appreciation Day proclamation as presented. And the next is to approve temporary signage for 393.
That sounds like yes, it'll be quick. All right, 12.1, let's move to that. Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. We're on pages 185 through 188.
I'll move to approve the proclamation as presented.
Is there a second? Moved by Commissioner Soper, seconded by Commissioner Keys. Debate. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The passes unanimously.
For 12.2, I'll move to approve temporary signage for 393 North Lawrence Street, to support early voting.
Second?
Moved by Commissioner Stolper, seconded by Commissioner Keys. Discussion of temporary signage. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously.
Is that fast enough?
I was about to say, you proved me wrong again. All right, well done. Thank you. Now, finally, agenda item 9. Update and consideration of the historic courthouse and the sale of Washington properties. I think we need to move into executive session to receive legal counsel on this. And counsel, could you advise on what other rationales I need to read into the record for this motion so it's appropriate and in compliance with the Open Meetings Act?
Yes, Mr. President, on number 11.3, I have a report on some litigation in which the county is involved as far as under my name. And then there are a couple of items. I don't know if Ms. Benitez wants to.
So 12.3, 12.4, and 12.5 under you, Eddie?
Yes.
All right, I'll move a motion. We go into executive session to receive legal advice for agenda item number 9, agenda number 11.3, 12.3, 12.4, and 12.5.
Moved by Commissioner Stolper, seconded by Commissioner Hapestad. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're moving into executive session to receive legal counsel for the reasons stated. Bathroom break. Reconvening after executive session. Thank you to the county administrator for bringing a legal issue to our attention. The county commission is.
Commissioner, can we have a vote to come out of executive session?
I so move.
Motion from Commissioner Stolper, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Moot. All those in favor of coming out of executive session, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. As I was saying, just want to say thank you to the county administrator for bringing a legal issue to our attention. The county commission is considering the legal issue and will address it at another meeting in the near future. We have no further business. Therefore, we are adjourned.
We're done already?